me them saying that them people wasn't black nor white. That's what y'all. That's my thing to you.
No, you gotta find that. That's your job.
They said
you gotta prove. You gotta prove that
they made a statement on race. They made a statement on race.
If I can find them saying that it wasn't in Africa, it wasn't.
You gotta find that they didn't change their view into the symposium. Find that.
Okay, I got you. I got another one. You wrote that down, Brad. Write that down too. I got another one.
And I ain't talking about just accidental them niggas.
Oh, now you ain't talking. No. Don't say what you're talking about now. You said what you said.
Yeah, I'm talking about the people at the symposium. You gonna look up shit for Diop. Look up for them niggas that he was talking to. That's there.
The same organization.
Absolutely.
The same organization released their statement on race 20 years prior to the conference. They already had their position on race.
You said they position on race
wasn't a biological. They said it wasn't a biological reality in the 50s. The same organization.
That's the cop out to everything. Social construct, man. That's trash. Nobody color now. Yeah, all right. Well, if that's what y'all doing, then ain't no fight to be had. If y'all social construct me to death, ain't no fight to be had.
Yeah, that's what we keep telling you. Exactly. There is no fight to be had. It's exactly correct. They already agree that they're neither black and white. You're absolutely correct. There is no fight.
So what did they say they was? Fuck what they wasn't.
Neither black nor white.
So what is that? See, that's not a position.
Nigga, they Egyptian.
And what is that?
Yeah, you might want to stay out of that. You're gonna get bopped.
Stay out of it, that one. Don't stay out of it,
I'm saying somebody, whoever yelled out the Egyptian, you're gonna get bopped with that one. That one. I don't think that's gonna work. Unless you
I mean, that's how they describe themselves.
They are. That's what they are.
That's how they describe themselves.
No,
they describe themselves as Egyptians.
Nonsense.
They describe themselves as Egyptians. Smalls, Logic, whoever was talking.
Yes, by and large, yes.
What did the other people?
You haven't seen Ramsey post that shit over and over again.
I don't watch
shit, and he will tell you.
Why would you?
Okay,
you don't believe? Do you not believe me when I tell you I don't watch that shit? I don't look at none of that shit.
That's what they say. They say don't put none of that shit on me. I'm Egyptian. I'm an Egyptian nationalist. That's what they'll tell you. They don't want
today.
None of that
I'm talking about
bullshit.
That's today. I'm talking about then though. That's what they call themselves then, Egyptians.
So why would it be any different back then?
Well, I would assume
culturally they've adopted xenophobia. So they like
now. That's nonsense.
They have a lot of national pride. Hold up, Tuck. Hold up, bro. So they got a lot of national pride in which they would prefer to not consider themselves Africans and just call themselves Egyptians. That's how they want to describe their experience.
Egyptians now.
So if we were to ask them how they view themselves, that is how they view themselves culturally.
So you went and woke up one of them mummies. You went and woke up one of them mummies and asked. See, you see how they anachronistic? You see that, Brass? He didn't jump all the way down to the Arab Republic of Egypt. Ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I don't even think the nigga know what he's talking about no more. Honestly, I think he lost.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I don't even feel right having a spirited argument about Egypt, yo. I ain't gonna lie. You got it.
Yeah, because you just started talking about modern Egyptians. That ain't what Brass asked you. He asked you, is that what they call the ED themselves? Not call themselves. We know they Arabs today. We already know that. It's the Arab. It's the Arab.
Went over everything, but all the news studies are surrounding these goddamn mummies and ancient niggas. That shit crazy.
Yeah, we get it. Y'all are the discredit crew. That's what y'all do. That's why when Chef said Wuja's name, Brass mind went to something else. See, that's what people is doing in these spaces. See, first you discredit, so anytime their name is brought up, it's a joke. So I know that Wu Jai is a beast in the language, but when Chef bring that name up, we don't think about that. We think about how he did some other shit and he was a Nuwapian and shit. So that's what y'all do. So yeah, so go ahead, say
in my defense, my brain did go somewhere else.
I didn't bring up shit about no Wu Jai. I don't know. You brought that up.
I'm not the discredit crew because I didn't say nothing. I just kept it to myself.
Yeah,
Nobody would have known why I kept it to myself until you just said something. And that's why I didn't say nothing.
You hit dog hollering, man.
I'm trying not to discredit the brother. Yeah, I'm trying not to discredit him.
I'm a part of the crew too. I know what we doing here. I know the aim of calling somebody a pseudo. I know why we do it.
I'm trying not to.
Now we don't gotta listen to that nigga no more.
No, it ain't that. It's tough. Some of these people in here said that they was really cool with him, and I'm cool with them. So I'm not going to press something if I don't have to. Because that now it feel like that's some cult shit. Like I'm trying to make you choose and this, that, and the other. So I'll just keep my thoughts to myself sometimes when it comes to some of this shit.
Oh no. I'm gonna bring your thoughts to light, Brad. I ain't gonna let you sit on
it. You just did.
I knew it.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. I'm not gonna let you be so. I'm gonna make you stand on it. Cheers. But anyway, I got two things that I gotta do. I gotta beat up Chef on, then I gotta beat up Said on another one. So I guess I'm working. Well, I ain't working right now. I'm just running my mouth, and everybody let me do it.
Set you up with a question, so I can't wait to see this. So
do you remember the exact wording of the conversation with you and Chef?
Cap. You better be careful.
Do you remember the exact question said though?
Yeah, Chef told me to find the expert that don't agree with. I mean that don't agree with the damn consensus. Easy money.
Egypt. That don't agree with money. The consensus
that's easy,
of Black
though.
Egypt.
Do they know that even if I find a quack and that got credentials, that's all he wants? See it's not a good
that's
question.
Exactly what you gonna do. You gonna find the quack.
I'm saying that if you find that Egyptologist that disagrees with the word Kemet is referring to the land and not the color of the people, nigga, you got it.
That's Charette too, though, not just Kemet.
Oh yeah,
that's Charette.
Get your own question. Get your own question.
I'm helping him remind him one of his points. My point is, I want him to show me that. I want him to show me that the people at the symposium didn't already have their mind made up.
Oh, now it's the people at the symposium. You slick, man. You know it ain't. You said before the symposium. Find what they said about the
people they invited there.
You see how he just did that, Brash? That's not what he said.
Bro, I haven't changed one bit. I literally said find the niggas that was at the symposium.
So what was your question, Tuck? And then what was yours said? And I just do a mix of the two. It's easy.
No, he said that academia didn't change on what they thought the Egyptians were until after Diop proposed his shit. And I said that's wrong.
Oh, so the academia changed before the symposium. You're saying it changed before the symposium.
Yes, prior to they got there, they had already been decided that they weren't no white or black type shit. It was just
type shit. Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
I like it. I like your fillers. I like your fillers said so you can be slick. Just like you being slick about the question now. That is. That's a bunch of filler.
Why nobody else saying I didn't change it up but you?
Well, but because I heard, but you tried to fix it after you said it because you said them specific niggas. What?
Yeah, why would we talk about just regular people that went in at the symposium? That don't make no sense.
Because you was talking about before the symposium. Why would we care about the niggas that was at the symposium? Say it.
Because that's who Diop was putting his argument forth towards. Those people.
That's right. So nobody else in the field could have touched it after he presented it at the symposium. It don't make no sense, say it.
Touched it. I'm saying they were already amongst themselves decided that these niggas ain't white nor black. They had already made that distinction prior to Diop showing anything. And that's what I'm saying right there. Because in a symposium, they state their position prior to before they even produce any evidence, right? So you're gonna fall on that one. So you better be careful.
But wait. But he brought way more shit than they was ready for. So maybe that was a part that they was ready for. Say it again.
I said that. I mean that's fine and dandy. He could bring forth whatever he wants. I'm telling you what they was already on with the people there.
The people that was at the symposium. You saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The same one Diop attended.
Okay. 74, wasn't it? Like something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bet. I'm gonna go do that. And now where's Chef at?
Right here.
Fuckers in my hair cut up.
Gave him that uptown, downtown.
Takes a nigga hairline back to the sub-Sahara.
Yeah.
Him up. Fucking him up. The bite of the nigga sure.
Somebody get their hair fucked up all in the name of Black Egypt. That's
somebody was talking about Egypt while they was cutting my hair. Get the fuck up out that chin lead.
Yeah, sorry.
That nigga started talking about the Cairo symposium. I pull that shit off we take the little thing off your neck and walk the fuck out. and dare you to come try to make me pay for this shit. Hell no.
This game, my motherfucking money.
Yeah, all you want is the money. Yeah, give me the money, man. Next.
Listen to my Egypt conversation. You might learn something.
Yeah. Sit down, young buck. You might learn something. Are you proud of who you are? You smoke crack, don't you? Well, I sorted that out. I just found out that Said Breeze knows about this Egypt shit. Smalls knows about this Egypt shit. I'm starting to feel like I'm in the minority.
Smalls don't know shit about this shit. No, nigga.
Nah, because here's the funny thing. Because when I put that shit in there a couple of weeks ago, about those people's positions, I put a whole table in there. Sosa was the one saying, like, so this is saying this is their position before they put forth the information. So Sosa actually gave me the ammo to whoop up on this question real quick. That's the funny part. That's why I proposed it, because I already had something for it.
Well, I think that'll be a good conversation. I think it'll be good if maybe even we start off the little debate conversations ourselves, like this debate with Joseph and Logic. That'll be a good one.
Logic and Joey supposed to debate. They ain't. I thought we would have seen that. Joey ain't been around.
No, I got
my quick suggestion, yo. It ain't. Hey, we probably should stop talking about that around Joey, man. What as skittish as he is,
no, he's not.
I'm telling you,
we live, but he's not in here.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, we gotta if it's gonna happen, like he don't seem like he's doing very well with, like, y'all kind of messing with him about maybe he win, maybe he don't. Because you notice every time he bring up somebody winning and losing, he back out. So I'm telling y'all, if y'all want it to happen, y'all might give him some space.
All right, well, then this would be my challenge. If a motherfucker soft pause like that, I don't care if you back out. Cause see, we gonna do the debates and stuff, but if I gotta, it's like a URL battle. They got face-offs. There's other things that's gotta happen before the debate. But you can't tell us not to talk about it. So if he that skittish like you think, then we just figured out what person that can't debate. I don't think he that skittish though. I don't think that's it. I think he more gets, his connection got a lot to do with it, but I think more he get irritated just off of, remember, he the only archer that talks. Haskell don't say much on that subject. Sadiq don't say much on that subject. It's really just him inside of here. But I'm pretty sure if it was more of them in here, he'd have more confidence to talk about it. Because every time he say something, it's 14 motherfuckers yelling at him.
And I did notice that Haskell quiet than a motherfucker today. I don't know if you busy or something, but Haskell ain't
No.
shit.
I don't mean he don't talk. I mean he don't talk about.
No, I'm talking about.
Like, I didn't even know he was an archer until they said it yesterday. I thought he was kind of like doing his own thing. I didn't know he was a like followed Smash's idea and all of that. I didn't know about that.
He ain't getting in this conversation though. He said, "Fuck that." That's my point.
It all to me, you gotta kind of be interested in Egypt to talk about it, because somebody gonna say something, if you don't understand it, you just look crazy as hell. That's why I don't really participate. Oh, so we got some people in the chat. Flash TV, Archer's in the building. So I guess he an Archer too. We need to get some Archers in the Discord to set some of you niggas straight. Well, hey, that was a good talk.
Yeah, you do got a point. It ain't enough Archers in here, bro. Like them niggas is outnumbered.
Well, Archers that
Get Smash on here.
We got a bunch.
Yeah, get Smash in this bitch.
I never really. He got a Discord. He got his old Discord. He probably ain't really tried to do that. But I still would. I know you said Corey, what he's saying don't make sense, but I still would like to. He's held his own. Put it like this: if his argument has no credibility at all, his argument is held up pretty well against a lot of people attacking it. So at some point, it gets a little crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what held up mean, but I guess, you know what I mean?
No, okay. So
what are you talking about?
How do you hold up an argument? How do you hold that argument?
Who y'all talking about?
Huh?
You got to be taking advantage of somebody's ignorance at some point.
Who y'all talking about?
Smash.
At some point, Logic. That's
what I was saying, Mel, was they pretty much intimated that we was talking about Black Egypt earlier. It's recorded, but I decided to go live because it's an interesting conversation. And the chat likes that conversation. So I'd rather, if y'all want to get in the Discord and participate in real time, we're live right now. Hit the Discord. So
that's why there's a lot of people up here.
That's why a lot of people ain't talking to Corey. That's why a lot of people get scared too. Notice it's a whole bunch of mutes when we hit that live button. Timmy talk a lot when we not live. We go live. I don't want to say the wrong shit, but here we go. The motherfucking. I was telling them, Mel, that why would y'all question Smash on the Metal Netter if he can read the shit primary and you can't? So how are you telling them that he's wrong? So then they started explaining how the experts and this and the other, which makes sense. But then I was saying, if the nigga been studying this shit 20, 30 years, is he introducing an argument, right? Maybe he's not saying a consensus argument, but is he introducing an argument based off of, what he sees? And they saying he is, but he's just wrong. And then my last question was just then how the hell is he holding up so well against all these people with, if his argument is just so easily proven wrong, how is he holding up against all these, other people? And people like Jabari agree with him, Reggie agree with him. It seemed like it's people that
agree with a grain of salt.
I'm not totally sure how Jabari feel on that. So
yeah, take Jabari with the grain of salt. But who's disputing Smash?
Well, everybody, essentially, right? Ain't they? Everybody pretty much took sides that you don't understand the stuff coming up.
Everybody?
What was y'all saying, Logic? Logic told me what they're disputing about what he's doing. That is something, or was it Chef? You ever talking about some red or some black or something like that?
Yeah, the black land. He's obviously trying to say that they talking about the people, and when they talking about Kemet, but I guess the consensus is the black land, because you have the Deshret, right, which is the red land, and then you got the fertile area, which would be the black land. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's pretty much the crux of the argument.
So the argument's about the word Kemet?
Yeah.
Okay.
So could it be that the glyphs is saying one thing and the scholars are saying another?
The scholars should be talking about the land itself.
So are they right? So are they? What I'm saying, what I mean is was Smash reading on the glyphs saying one thing, but the scholars and consensus today are they saying another thing?
What is Smash interpretation?
Bro, come on, bro. You know I don't know that shit. I'm just asking a question.
No, he's saying that they referring.
No, you gotta ask the question. I get it. I can't answer that.
If Smash is saying that it means black land,
no, he's saying that it
black
means
people.
Okay, yeah, he's incorrect.
All right, why are you saying he's incorrect?
Because of, for one, just breaking the language down into it has a describer added to the end of it, just the T at the end. So it's not how they wouldn't use that to describe like referencing peoples. They've referenced themselves and they've referenced other peoples over time, and they have clarity on who they are. The significance is, so we got to start with where these people come from. These people come from the caves in Egypt. Like, I'm always going to say that they're one of the few civilizations that came from archaic man to modern man. So they came from the caves in Egypt, settled along the Nile, and because the Nile had, land that was, perfect for, farming and things like that, they were able to create their entire civilization off of the Nile. So that they identify with the land. That's what that is. So they would never identify themselves as black, because black is a racial term. It's a social term. They would never identify themselves as black.
Flash TV in the chat says, "Who says that? Who? When you keep saying they,
I'm saying the Egyptian civilization. They would not identify themselves as black." And being that they were in contact with many societies, Cushitic people, you could say Nubians, who were of more darker skin than they were, describing themselves as black would have been, incorrect. Being that there are people who were darker than them, but we can't apply modern terms and understandings that we agreed upon socially to archaic man. We don't even have the same functioning mind that they did at the time.
So that's the social construct argument.
It is a social construct.
No, I'm just saying that's the social construct argument.
It's not necessarily. I get what you're saying as far as the argument. I wouldn't say
not quite,
it shouldn't be an argument.
But in so many words, yeah, but not quite. That
what do you mean?
That argument came along once they realized that certain people realized that no, they wasn't black, and then that argument came up. But I don't think that's the way that he's using it. He's using it in the proper way. But go ahead.
Yeah. So for a people in civilization, a human civilization, to identify themselves as black, it wouldn't be just in one context. It would be in each and every context of how they express themselves and how they identify themselves. When we look at natives that are indigenous to the land, each and every facet of how they identify and express themselves show that they are indigenous to the land and to their tribe. There's no debating that. So if we're going to apply the same concepts across all human civilizations and cultures since the beginning of time, it's been consistent. So why would they all of a sudden identify themselves as black, but you do not see this identifier anywhere else within their culture? You do not see them identifying themselves when they come into contact with other cultures. You do not see them saying, okay, these are the fair-skinned people and we're the black people. These are the brown-skinned people, we're the black people. These are people that are darker. Like, it didn't like the skin complexion and color was never a issue with them. It's just they identified people based upon, whatever words they would have had for them to identify them. But they never would have compared a contrasted skin. Like that's a racial term.
So what does Kim mean?
And like just
KM.
so if you're
KM.
just
What
talking
does
about
KM mean?
yeah,
So
okay.
why do they?
So
So why do they paint people different colors? What are you talking about?
So when you talk about the glyph on the wall when they have different colors, you gotta also the scribe is describing a moment, event in time, and it's specifying by these different tribes and groups based on how they look, but they had names for them, and they all have different attire, so it isn't just about their skin complexion.
Yeah, Bob. Yeah, absolutely. So you just said they don't do that, but they absolutely do that. What are you talking about?
But that was more so of the event itself. It was never that particular. I know what you're talking about. That particular.
They absolutely did that.
Then, but that's how they identified who was who. What and what you
They
just said.
they identified them by more than just.
Said they didn't do that. They absolutely did.
They identified them by more than just skin color. They had a name for them, and they identified them by their how they appeared with their attire.
Yeah.
And what they brought with them.
But you said that they didn't identify a skin color. Now you saying that they
because
did.
identifying people by skin color alone was not a common thing. They had names for these people. They'll tell you who the tell you who the Asiatics were. That doesn't mean that they're saying they're Asiatics because they have pale skin.
And how did they depict them? So, stop doing that. Like you can't say it.
So they depicted them by how their attire was, what they wore,
And what else? And what else?
And how they looked via skin color and skin complexion. But that wasn't the main way they identified them.
Bomb, Brass. Drop a goddamn bomb.
It's not me to drop a bomb.
I'm not here, but I'm about to drop my
Yeah, you might have messed that one up. Motherfuckers think they get everything off the walls, boy. That shit crazy.
You went for that?
Hey, wait. Why did y'all
You do know that they waste one skinny like that.
Don't give me that.
Right? You do know that, right?
Why didn't you stop him when
they waste one skinny like that?
Don't give me enough credit, Corey. You gotta give me
all their faces ain't look like that neither.
Yes, but y'all won't stop him when he said that though. I'm the only one that stopped him.
Mel,
and
right?
I got a problem with me stopping him. Y'all crazy. He just
Mel,
made that up. So said he didn't make that up.
Nah, I believe Mel.
Yeah, I bet you do. I bet you do.
This is
so Brad,
wait, Corey, Mel don't even believe Mel because he walked it back. He walked it back.
When you walking back, I clarified.
That shit almost broke. That shit almost broke my Chat GPT, y'all. And I got Chat GPT 5. That shit had to think. This is the longest. This shit had to think for 5 minutes, 35 seconds. A whole 5 minutes, 35 seconds trying to come up with an Egyptologist that disagrees with Kemet being referring
Black
to
okay, but did it find one? Did it find one, Jeff?
No.
It's not.
And that
that motherfucker, he wants you to search far and wide.
You made that up, Jeff.
Listen, it was prompting me. It was telling me everywhere it was looking. So for each minute, it was like looking here, looking at current Egypt, looking here, looking at the archive, looking up through the web.
Hey, Chef.
I'm gonna also answer the other question he had too.
Hold on, Mel. This shit went through several different searches. It took them 5 minutes and 35 seconds. It's just the longest that it ever almost broke that motherfucker. And it came, there's no current Egyptologists. No current Egyptologists.
That
Like,
current
so-
word. That current word.
That's what we. What
That ain't what you asked me, Chef.
it wasn't.
No, that's not what you asked me.
What was it?
No.
What was it?
That wasn't the exact wording. You said
Come
any-
on, y'all.
I'm just letting you know,
Yeah.
bro. I'm just telling you to listen. I can't not say it. You
Oh
said
my
any-
God, yo! Like y'all,
I want to go
are
back. I want to go
terrible.
back to. I
He
want to
said
go back
extra
to.
No, hold on, Mel. Hold on, Mel. So I didn't say current. I didn't say
No.
if I didn't.
You didn't say no.
okay,
You didn't say current.
I'm going to stand on that. But the only person that it could go back to, right, was 1974, the Cairo Symposium. So either way, I was right.
It only went to the Cairo Symposium because you had that put into the Chat GPT way before that. Come on now.
No, I'm saying
I would have
that
respected it. I would have respected it had they went back to the Germans who actually found the actual documentation. Like, if we're gonna go there, let's go there.
No, that don't make sense. Diop was the one that said this shit meant people and not referring to the
Okay,
land.
so let me break down the language real quick, and then I'm gonna come back to this whole depictions of people thing. So in the language, there's the KM is the KM, and it there's two symbols for that, and that means black. And then there's the T after this, the period T. The period T is a feminine gender suffix, and commonly within this language, that feminine T always represents country place names and collectives, and they take on the feminine form of the language. So black is referenced by the KM, and then the period T, which is the feminine suffix, together makes it the black land.
Mm-hmm.
After y'all done, I want to take some questions from the chat because I actually got some good questions. But y'all go ahead.
So when they reference KM.T as the black land, remember that it's a feminine gender suffix, which is also denoting the Nile Valley specifically. And the Nile Valley is fertile. So that's why they called it Kemet. That's why it's referenced as the black land. And if anyone's been there, if you see the soil that's right along the Nile, it looks very black, the same way it does down in next to the Mississippi River. If you look upon the river, that soil is very, very black, and it's because that soil is very fertile.
Right. So a tuck. So that's just the KM.T, right? So that's just the what's the name, and then the loaf of bread, which is the T, right? Or the half a loaf of bread, which the half a circle, which is the T. Now he'll come up and say, well, what about when you got the people next to it, right? Well, then that's just referring to the people of the black land. You dig what I'm saying? So either way, you're never going to get black people out of that, Tuck.
No,
you're just not going to do it.
So I want to speak on the depictions of people. Consistently, when Egyptians identified people, not just through this one depiction that's on the wall, when they identified opposition, when they identified those that were nearby, when they identified those that they traded with, they always identified them primarily with their location geographically, their culture, and their language. It was never by their race. So when they talk about Asiatics, they talk about Easterners. So yes, do they paint them?
And that's what he tried to get you at though last time.
He's not going to get me because
listen,
just walk that back. All you got to do is walk that back. Why y'all got such a problem walking back?
It's not walking it back. It's about him understanding that it's from a biological sense how they're identifying them. It's never a racial category.
Now they knew biology. Okay, go ahead.
So we're gonna downplay that they didn't understand biology. They didn't understand
He doesn't recognize.
I think they was doing
Let
lookership.
me tell you where he's confused at, right?
Don't do that, Corey. Don't do it like that, Corey.
Hold on. They didn't just go by whoever said they went by lookership. You're incorrect. They didn't just go by lookership. They knew where they came from. When they talk about the Kushites or the Nubians, they came from the south. When they talk about them Asiatics, they came from the east. When they talk about them Libyans, they got the tattoos on them. They came from the west. Like, they know where these people came from. It's beyond just racial categories.
Right, and
No,
and
I'm not.
also,
No. Corey, he talking to me. Corey, he talking to me.
No, I just want to say one thing, though, bro.
You want to say something for me, though? That's crazy.
No, I don't want to say it for you, though, right?
You said where I'm confused at. You didn't just say where I'm confused at?
Yeah, I said where you confused at, right?
Okay, so all right. Go ahead. Corey.
For the audience.
Go ahead, Corey.
Was because you brought it up earlier. You said, so when they drew them on the walls, right, when they drew the pictures of them, they drew them Libyans, they drew the Libyans, and they had their entire...
I ain't said Libyan yet. Corey, stop
whatever.
doing that. The only reason I said that is because you said they didn't. Man, y'all got to stop it, Corey.
Bro,
you misrepresent me right now.
That's not even the point. It's not even the point. Just let me...
Okay, so why did I say it, Corey? Why did I say it?
No, you was talking about the skin color on the picture is the point, though.
That's right. But why?
Right, because you wanted to make... I'm getting to that. This is what I'm getting to, Tuck.
Okay, say what he said. Say what he said.
And they're all like they're all brown. Some are a little lighter, some are a little darker. But
I wish I could drop my own goddamn
is irrelevant when you know where they're from, and that's all that matters. That's how they identified foreigners.
I got you, Tuck.
Let me go get that relief real quick. Hold on.
I got you, Tuck. Hey, real quick.
I think Tuck right on this one.
I'm improving real quick. Hold on.
Someone in the chat said Nubians even had older pottery top on pyramids are older too. Like this, what Eurocentrics did was they stole culture. Nubians and Egyptians had similar looking populations. Knock it off. Astro says they depicted Libyans white. Christian Lewis said Kushites were known as black since they came, whose name means dark. They never identified as Asiatics, but there was a question in here I wanted to ask y'all. Boy. Okay, here got a question. It said, why did people of Kemet study astronomy? Because that's not a question. Why did Greeks call people of Kemet children of the sun? Does anybody know the answer?
Well, we know that when we're looking at the Greeks, the quote unquote Egyptians and Ethiopians were their standards for black. They compared everyone to Ethiopians or people from ancient countries. That was their standard for what black was. If I'm mistaken, somebody correct me on that.
Ain't nobody step up, so you must have been
All
correct.
right. So y'all see that? Y'all see that from the tomb? The tomb description I just put back there, the painting.
I ain't getting
I'm ashamed of my answer, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it, right? So
But do y'all see it there? I just put it back there.
In the hymn to Aten, I believe the Egyptians referred to themselves as the people who were kissed by the sun. So you can see there actually in that particular hymn where they're distinguishing themselves, not just by the color of themselves, but also like by their languages, right? So they understood that there was a cultural difference between themselves and other people. So they're not making this racialized distinction that Tuck is saying, but they can clearly make an observation with their eyes and say we're not the same color as these Libyans. But the color isn't the big distinguisher. The big distinguisher is the religion and the language. That's what the actual big distinguishment is, because Egypt is still a part of the corridor, right? Like you still do have a lot of people coming in and out of Egypt, and regardless of like what their genetic background is, when they get to Egypt, if they adhere to like the language and the religion, they become Egyptians. Like that's what it is. So
where is it at when
you gotta force the issue to try to make it racial. It just doesn't fit into the culture.
No, I disagree with that.
Who actually said that quote that they were kissed by the sun?
I did. It's in the hymn to Aten.
But okay, so but saying that they were kissed by the sun when they identified themselves as Randy Kimmett, they wouldn't have said that. That's a modern interpretation. And that has racial undertones.
This says they depict.
I'm not sure what you think I'm saying, but I'm more so saying it is all poetry and not to be taken seriously like that.
Poetic.
But I'm giving you the reasons why.
Right, but it's poetic, but it's not meant to be. It's like metaphorical. That doesn't mean that they're saying that they're kissed by the sun in a racial sense. You see what I'm saying?
Maybe not in the racial, but in the color. They was identifying themselves by.
Yeah, not in a racial. Exactly, that's exactly what I'm saying, and not in a racial sense, but they can look at themselves and say
they were being
it's metaphorical.
No, they're
saying that they look like diverse. They look diverse like modern Egyptians.
Yep.
No, they had a metaphorical as well as a physical idea when it comes to black. Black wasn't just black, but black was also considered divine and special in their eyes. So the term black only reserved for their people. Just like the term Ramesh deals with only those particular people of that particular culture. It doesn't extend to all of humanity. Because it says that they were created from the tears of Ra. So that is where that term comes from. Because it said he
right. I agree with Joey right there, right? So why do people take that further and try to say they're talking about skin color? Like I think it's easy to understand that when they're using the word black, they're talking about divine and they're talking about religion. So why do people take it as skin color?
But they were talking about skin color too.
They were talking about skin color.
But because they were considered that then became divine to them. So it does have a
it can't be because the Nubians are darker than you. It can't be.
And some of those Nubians were also considered part of their culture. According to scholars, they call them quote unquote Egyptianized Nubians. Actually, a anachronistic term. The term would have been the Hesed. So they come up with
If you was back then, you wouldn't have knew. You wouldn't have knew who was Nubian and who was Egyptian. If you was back then.
Go look at that.
You would have because Nubian because term is the Hesi.
You would make confused. You would have never knew who was Nubian and who was Egyptian.
It means southerner. It does not necessarily.
Go look at the picture I added in this chat from the Tomb of Seti. And that's the common one that people are looking at. And most people with the modern lens, they think that this particular painting is showing that it's labeled the different types of humanity, but it's not an expression of race. It's an expression of geography and culture.
The black one, they showed the black one as a Egyptian. The black man was the Egyptian.
There's one of them where they have two depictions that look alike.
Yeah,
actually,
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and Nubians and other Africans, they consider them the same as themselves.
Yeah.
The two pictures are identical.
The difference between the Egyptian in that photo from the Met Museum versus the other three is you can see like the location that they come from, their attire, and then also just culturally how their attire has influence.
They got the black man, they got the Nubian looking just like the Egyptian though.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they have one with their
they knew the Egyptian was black. So that lets you know that they knew
the Nubian does not look Egyptian.
Huh?
Bro, you're looking at if you're looking at all of them, one of them has the quote unquote Egyptian and the Nubian dressed and looking exactly the same. The only difference
from the one that I posted.
I don't know which one you posted, but they have one.
Go look at the one that I posted. It's from
that ain't the one.
Watch
You didn't post the right one. You didn't post the one.
Hold on, Corey, real quick. Watch the YouTube live. I got Mel's picture up. In the chat, can y'all still hear the audio while the picture is up? Because I just need to know that. If not, I can't leave this picture up here.
Let me see Mel's picture. You probably ain't got the right one up, Mel.
Hold on, my Discord acting up. Hold on 1 second.
Oh yeah, y'all can still hear the audio. Okay, so if y'all got pictures or something, if y'all got pictures or something that you want me to show, just put it in the Discord chat. I can click on the picture and they'll still be able to hear y'all talk at the same time. And Patai told y'all niggas shut the fuck up. He on y'all ass. And Astro told y'all niggas shut the fuck up. He on y'all ass too. Pause. He said y'all fucking up.
Alright, I'm back.
Post Astro, post your picture inside of here and I can share it in the Discord chat. Not the general Discord chat. The chat of this room. We're live right now for people that want to come in here and talk. I see Sadiq in here. I know they was killing Smash earlier. You're a little bit late, Sadiq. Tuck was in here running a 20v1.
Get these niggas Sadiq arrows up, goddammit.
Alright, what about hey Brass, what about that other picture I just put back there? That other picture I just put back there?
230? You put 2.
No.
Okay, no.
When they show the four races or something, that picture.
Yeah.
No, not that one. The one I just posted.
Yeah, no, I put it up.
That's the one I want.
The chat is looking at it right now.
Okay, good. So
that's not the one I'm referring to. That's a different picture.
It is. The one that you're referring to, I posted it earlier.
Okay, I got you, Astro.
But this one right here, like you wouldn't know, like unless you understand like how they describe Asiatic people, you wouldn't know that they're distinguishing these people based on where they're from. These people are Levantine tribute bearers to Sobek Hotep. And they're making sure that their attire is fitting because they're clearly distinguishing foreigners from their dress, their posture, and their grouping compared to themselves. Clearly.
But you are aware that foreigners doesn't mean they come from somewhere else. It means They are not.
They know where they come from. I'm just showing you in a case where like artwork, like on this particular artwork, you have 9 different people on this particular artwork, and they all have different shades of brown, but they're all from the Levant.
Can I finish my statement? Or identifying someone foreigner does not necessarily mean they come from someplace else. It means they do not pay.
They know where they come from. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They know where they come from.
Hold on. Foreigner means they are not politically a part of Kemet. It does not mean that. Doesn't necessarily mean they come from somewhere. Because they have Nubians who are considered part of ancient Kemet, and Nubians who are not considered, simply because those beings are fighting against. And
I understand that. I understand that. I clearly understand that, but I'm specifically talking about this particular painting from the tomb of Sebek-Hotep. Like, they're clearly drawing a line between how the Egyptians are, how they look, how their attire, their culture, how they group together, in contrast with people from the Levant. So even though there's different shades of brown here, with all 9 of these people, they clearly are distinguishing that these people are from the Levant, and they're here to bring tribute. And like, they're not Egyptians, they're not, they're not us, they're not anyone else. Just because they have similar shades of brown, it's not how they would identify said people. So they knew who they were, where they came from, what their culture was.
What they're doing is identifying Libyans as their enemies. It doesn't have anything to do with they come from the Levant. These are our enemies, and they are not part of it. That is what that is.
But it does specify that they are from the Levant, though.
If I just use the word Levant, modern scholars would put the word Asiatic onto some of those terms, whereas the original people. So we can't say Levant because that term didn't exist. They're identifying them as different. We're saying they're Asiatic. They didn't say that. They call them Tuchenu and Libu. That has nothing to do with necessarily where they come from. People are interpreting it as Asiatic, but it doesn't necessarily.
They would have, anybody from the Levant would have been under that umbrella of Asiatics, and it's just that normally they're enemies, but in this case, they're bringing tribute. But it could have been any of the people in that area, the Hadi people, people from Kadesh.
We call them Asiatic. They would not have used that word.
I agree. I'm just showing. I'm not here to debate how we would express it in the 21st century. I'm just showing how they identify them in contrast to how people think they identify other people through race. That's all I'm showing.
I agree that it's not a racial. It's a culture, as you said.
Right. So I'm in a constant. I'm just putting things in the back just to prove that case. I have many more tomb glyphs from the Met Museum.
You got to tell me
when
you want me to pull up.
If you have a woman who has helped you when your mind was at war, who didn't judge you or lose respect for you as you struggled in the battle against yourself, who cared, who tried to help you in any way she can, who is understanding, patient, loving, and kind. She's a diamond.
Man, what the fuck is that?
What the hell is that?
Right,
My bad.
Chef, meet your mic. You fucking getting a motivational speech from a
Chef, what the hell are you?
Buddha or some
Chef, what the hell are you listening?
weird motherfucker, bro. Y'all go ahead.
Indian. It was an Indian king.
Somebody was telling Chef, you're a good boy. Do better in life.
Do better in life.
You must do better. You fucked my
Hurry up
paper
in life.
all the way up.
So this is the shit that Chef listens to when he ain't talking to niggas.
The crazy
That's
thing
what
is
be
we
going
all
on.
got quiet and listened to it. We was trying to figure out who the I thought
Hey,
it
listen to that. Listen to the East Indian motherfucker talking crazy.
Yeah, I thought an actual Nubian came back and was setting us straight. What the fuck is y'all in here
Respect
doing?
life. Try to do
Respect
better.
life. Stop talking about color. Respect life. Yeah, this nigga Chef threw everything off. No, hopefully y'all can get it back. This nigga Chef is crazy.
So I posted another one back there. That one is a relief, Metal Kingdom relief. Again from the Met Museum. All of these are from the Met Museum, and it's they clarify it as it's a woman and child that are foreigners, and then there's a Nubian mercenary.
But what are you trying to prove by this picture? The whole chat is looking at this picture. What are you
Yes,
trying to prove?
all of the pictures that I'm putting in the back are just to further prove my point, especially to Tuck, that they didn't use race to identify people. They specified through different ways, through culturally and through their location.
Why did kid body look red? Or was that decay?
This one's from the Met. Let me see what they say about that.
Wait, stop. When did I mention race?
No, Tuck was just talking about color. He never mentioned race.
Right. He's arguing with himself.
Yeah.
So you're using color in a non-racial term?
You said they never
are you using color in a non-racial term.
What?
No, he was combating. Hold on, just for clarity, Mel. He was combating something that you said, and he didn't bring up race. You said that they never used the describe themselves as the color. He didn't say the race. So
okay, I was bringing up color within racial terms.
Say what?
When I brought up color, I was saying it under racial terms, like how we currently.
That's why you arguing with yourself.
I'm not arguing with myself.
I never said it. I was talking about them depicting people different using color on the walls. I said that exact. And you said they never did that.
As a racial term, that's what I meant. Like not as just.
But you talking about race in the modern. Like who the hell? Modern. You talking about modern? They may have had a different.
The previous question to me was
they use why they depicted motherfuckers different with different colors. It don't got to be race. See, that's why. See, y'all be
previous. But hold on. The previous question to me. The previous question to me before that was about the word Kemet and whether it meant black people of black land.
Impossible.
How is that impossible?
What are you talking? Oh yeah, the discussion before was, but then you went in talking about
because it was connected to that discussion.
Say it again.
It was connected to that discussion.
Talk. Let me jump in here and say something. You do know it's possible that individuals that are trolling, right? You're aware of that, right?
You got to talk.
It's possible that individual you're talking to could just be trolling. You try to lead me down a path that I go.
I can't hear you.
It's possible the individual you're talking to could be trolling and trying to get us to go down that path.
I wouldn't know.
Hey, Tuck, when you're not talking, you got to mute. There's some kind of fan we picking up from where you at. But Joey just said it's possible that you are trolling.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah, he said it's possible that you're trolling, Tuck.
No. I'm not talking about Tuck. I'm talking about the other.
Oh, you're saying Mel might be Mel.
I wasn't trolling.
We don't know that. You have Arabic all on that. We don't know
a specific question.
No. Hey, Joey, Mel is legit.
All right. No. I'm just saying. If he's not, I apologize.
So do they depict them in different colors? Or do they depict them in different colors?
Say what?
Joey, you got to mute when you're not talking, bro. Do they depict them in different colors on the wall?
Yes.
The walls. When they
the
painters
painters will use different colors.
Okay, hold on. So what do those colors mean?
when specifying with like different groups of people, like in the first photo I put back there, they're specifying their appearance, you know, through colors, but there wasn't like that's not how they identified them. So yes, they're going to use
Okay,
the
Doug,
colors.
you didn't answer my question. Hold on, let me say it again. So when they put people on the wall, why? Okay, so we know what the color of the wall is. When they put people on the wall, why are they distinguishing them by color if color wasn't a thing? Why did they change the color of
It's
the
symbolic, Brass.
Say they put 9 people in a row. Why would they change the colors of each person?
It's symbolic, Brass. It's the same reason why nobody's fat. It's the same reason why you don't see overweight people on the walls. It's symbolic.
Symbolic
But
of
that's
what?
the reason why they don't see overweight
It's just
people on the
symbolic of them
walls.
being
I
different.
can explain why they don't see overweight people
So
on the
you're
walls.
saying you're saying that they depict them as different colors because it's symbolic of them being different?
No.
Yes, the same way they depict the women.
No.
The same way they depict the women a different color. It's symbolic.
It's symbolic of
Right, but you're saying it's symbolic
and stylized art.
Everybody
Stylized
stop
art.
answering for logic. I can't answer 3 people at once. So I just want to do what he said. Y'all write y'all thing down and then I'll ask y'all. Because if y'all all saying something different, that's even more telling. So you're saying that it's symbolic of them, the different color of the people on the wall, it's symbolic of them being different.
I'm saying that when you're looking at the wall paintings, you're not looking at a portrait. It's not supposed to be like visually accurate, but just to symbolize the story, right? So the story is this group of people who are not us came and did this. It's just like an observation that they were different, had different clothes, different shades, but that's not, it's not trying to be like colors, accurate. You know what I'm saying? They're just trying to say a different group of people did this. That's all they're doing.
So when they're putting stuff on the walls, that's not them. They're depicting someone else.
What you mean? Of course, when they so follow what I'm
you
saying.
just said
if he puts the pharaoh on the wall, he's not going to put the exact color tone of the pharaoh, and he's not even going to use the exact body shape of the pharaoh. He's going to use a symbolic, idealized version. That's what you see.
Can I give some more context to that? So it's supposed to be photorealistic. He mentioned earlier that you don't see any people that are fat.
It's supposed to be photorealistic. What you mean? Like it's supposed to look like whatever they're actually painting?
No. It's I'm saying it's not meant to be photorealistic. It's
not meant to be. Okay.
Right. It's symbolic, religious, and it's just how they chose to identify people. For example, I'll give you a clear representation stylistically. When you look at men versus women, men are usually always painted a reddish brown, and that resembles like their vitality, them being outdoors, them being laborers, having life force. Women are often painted pale yellow to light, like a lighter tone. And that's because it symbolizes that the women are more indoors. They have more focus on beauty, softness, and preservation. So it's symbolic as to how they identify, these different people.
So what about when they were black? What about when they made it black?
Nubians were painted darker brown and black because of where they're from, their southern homeland, and the cultural distinction.
Let me.
Did they know?
Asiatics are also painted yellow. Hold on, Asiatics or Levantine people are also painted yellow, but lighter colored, because that's showing their difference as far as their exotic identity. Libyans were also painted that pale or yellow, but Libyans had different hairstyles from Asiatics, and they were often tattooed, showing cultural significance. And the Egyptians were always standardized with the reddish brown.
Let me ask you a question. If these paintings are not meant to be realistic, how can I go on the wall, look at someone today, and say that person is exactly like that painting on the wall? That was not meant to be. They have people who look exactly like those people today living in that area. You can look at the picture and say, these are those people. So how can it be symbolic if I could do that? That's my question.
Like it's symbolic because it's stylized. It's artistic, but it also has like religious connotations. Like each pigment has a meaning. Like when I expressed the difference in pigment between men and women, each pigment has different roles, forms, genders, fertility, divinity, life. Like I can go on and on. Each pigment isn't just because that's how they saw people from a racial based view.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
Okay, prove me
You
wrong.
can't
Prove me wrong.
you can't
Yeah, because we can find actual people on the wall.
Hold on. I can real quickly. I can give you.
Joey, when you're not talking, you gotta mute, bro.
Hey, hold on. I can give you 4 colors that have religious and symbolic associations. I can give you green, which is they saw as renewal, life, resurrection, and also associated with Osiris or Osar in some scenes. Yellow or gold is always represented something eternal, something divine. It's also associated with the god's flesh. Red or desert is always represented by chaos, desert, danger, and also the realm of Seth. And then black, which is Kim, is always represented by fertility, regeneration, the Nile soil, and also we see here Osiris. It's the black one. Like that's just 4 colors. I can run the gambit on you. Like so they have religious and symbolic associations. Like,
You're right in some respects, but in some respects you're putting
bruh.
No, hold on, let me finish. In some respects, you're putting this idea of black land on them, and there's no primary text say that they are comparing their skin tone and their divinity to black land. Came from Plutarch, didn't know what he was talking about, made up something because he wasn't telling them everything. That does not come from the information. If you want to chat,
I didn't even get that from Plutarch. I got that from the language.
Bro,
you see that in the language.
The language doesn't say anything. The word Kemet doesn't have anything.
So Wazir is not called the black one?
The word Kemet has nothing to do with soil. You could say black city. There is no word.
Kim is just black. Kim just KM is just black. But the soil is significant.
The place name deals with a city. It deals with an occupied land. It has nothing to do
because you had the feminine. You have to add the feminine suffix. Absolutely.
So occupied land is not soil. That doesn't mean soil.
No, I never said occupied land is soil.
Soil is dirt, ground. That particular determinative means city. People live there. That has nothing to do with earth or the soil or the ground.
Yeah, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
So, but you're saying that term. They have a term that refers black soil. None of those terms refer to black.
No, I didn't say any term represented black soil. You misunderstood.
Then you're making it up.
I didn't make it up. Did you not hear what I said when I referenced the Nile soil?
You made it up.
No, when I referenced the Nile soil, I was talking about its symbology, its symbolic affiliation, and its religious affiliation.
It didn't have one.
They did.
No. The river.
Joey, just ask the man to pull it up. Just ask the man to pull it up.
Is there like y'all just going back and forth? Who's right and who's wrong?
He's gonna pull up Plutarch. That's because there is no.
I'm not gonna pull up Plutarch. I have to use Plutarch to understand the religious connotations. I didn't need that.
No. Hey, listen. Pull it up. Yeah, just pull it up.
Are the Egyptians saying that?
No. Happy is a river deity, not soil. It has nothing to do with soil.
Joey, just have the man pull up a text with the Egyptians saying that.
Pull up the text with the Egyptians saying that, Mel.
Yeah. He knows he can. So don't even bother.
Oh, hold on. Sometimes you just gotta say it and don't say nothing, Joe.
Also, Happy wasn't the only river deity.
No.
Yes,
Hey,
I am pulling it up. Hold on.
No, we put out a challenge. We put out a challenge.
Pull up the text, bro.
Yeah,
just deal with that. Yeah, you don't gotta. Sometimes, Joey, you'll talk and talk and talk. That simple question. Pull up the text. The other day, what's the number? That stops all the talking. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. What's the number? Shout out to Chris Harris. I think Logic and Chris gonna have a nice debate coming up.
Hey, Brad, didn't I already? Brad, didn't have that. Brad, didn't I tell you that?
What?
That they didn't have no ask that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you asked it a while ago. Yeah, and we blew past it, but it was cool. But now it's time to just if you saying he right and you saying he wrong, then one of y'all pull up a text and call it a day. Shouts to Flash TV, just joined the server. Shouts to you. You're welcome to come in here and state your game, gangster. It's taking you an awful long time, man.
No, I'm reading James P. Allen's book. I'm trying to put it up right now. It's like page 400 or something. So give me a second.
Don't worry, he ain't gonna be able to pull that up.
I got the book.
Hey, Sadiq, I know you can't participate like that. So if I can give me about 30 seconds, 45 seconds. So earlier, I was asking, what is the major contention? Are they saying that what y'all seeing on the walls that the Egyptologists are disagreeing with, or where's the contention with y'all? Like, if no Egyptologist is saying the Egyptians are black, that means y'all pretty much going up against everybody. So is it y'all interpretation of it, or are y'all just seeing something different?
Wait, say that one more time, just so.
Okay, so we pulled up the consensus, right? Because I was trying to figure out the crux of the argument outside all the personal stuff. And I assume that Smash is reading it off the wall, everybody else is going with consensus. He's reading primary stuff. So when he's reading primaries, what the Egyptologists and the consensus are saying Egyptians aren't black. And then I said, well, Smash is holding his own on the primaries. Anybody really knocked him off the square like that? So how is he able to do it? And we didn't have any real archers, I guess, at the time in here. So his argument, is it just going against the consensus and he sees something that they don't? Or is there like a confusion there?
Oh, Brad, I know you said you have your master's degree, right?
Yes, political analyst. Go ahead.
Okay, so when you do documentary research, what is the order of respected level?
I don't do research.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying in general. So you have primary, secondary, and tertiary, right? Which one holds more weight?
Primary, always. If you do a book based on secondary sources, it's damn near tertiary. Pseudo. That's your whole If you do secondary and tertiary, your book is damn near pseudo because you skip primary on purpose.
All right, that's what we talking about. Tell them pull up the primary shit.
Okay. See?
Now you have to define what primary means.
Oh, we all know if you went to school, primary is directly from a person. It's either there, direct from that person. Hold on, I got a call.
You are aware that pictures and facsimiles do count as primary, right? So if I show a picture of something that's on the wall, that's a primary. If I do a facsimile or a drawing, that is primary, right? We have to define those parameters. Just because
I don't think. I mean, you show it and then let them show us evidence, and then you determine at that point.
Okay, but I'm just defining what primary.
Well, no. What I'm saying is, what it may mean to you doesn't necessarily mean that whatever, and then y'all come together and y'all figure it out.
No, I think that's a textbook definition of primary. If I'm wrong, because they have a textbook definition of primary.
Well, okay, so I looked it up. Categories of primary evidence in Egyptology are texts and inscriptions, hieroglyphic, hieratic, demotic, or Coptic texts written by Egyptians themselves. Why is it primary? They show directly how Egyptians recorded their own words, rituals, and laws. Then you have the material culture, artifacts, everyday objects made or used. They reflect how people lived and worked. You can use architecture and monuments, human remains, environmental and archaeological data, and foreign sources written in antiquity. So that would be antiquity, meaning Greek, Roman, Assyrian, or biblical accounts written during or shortly after contact with Egypt. So what is not primary evidence? Modern books and interpretations, later myths or Afrocentric, Eurocentric reinterpretations, 19th, 20th century archaeology reports are not primary. So we can't stay on mute. Somebody got to talk about something while he's looking for something that he's gonna have a hell of a time finding.
So Brandon, it doesn't directly address what I said about drawings and facsimiles.
I can't hear you, Joe.
Doesn't address what I said about pictures and facsimile primary evidence. Doesn't address that in that definition.
No, it says pictures primary. It says as long as it's from it says as far as pictures go, it says hold on, I had it up here. Letters, contracts, this royal decrees, everyday objects, pottery. Okay, so it says structures built in the ancient period. Those examples would be pyramids, temples, tombs, or obelisks. It says wall reliefs, paintings, and carvings on these monuments are primary visual evidence. They were produced in real time for religious, political, or funerary purposes. So I don't know if you could go get a. I mean, if it's a picture of something that's on the wall, then yeah. But if it's not a picture of something that's on the wall, then it wouldn't be primary. That's just my. I mean, I don't know.
But then they also do.
Sorry, I stepped away. Did we get any primary text of what that of those colors?
No,
he's still looking for it. Sadiq, is that you?
Yep, that's me.
Yeah, that was Sadiq.
What's up with you, dog? So let me ask you a question, right? Because I think actually this is actually a good question that somebody poses when they say you know, when you look at the ancient Egyptian religion, and then you consider the factors that they're using when they're talking about life-giving sources, and how they, you know, how they kind of venerate that kind of stuff, right? So, like, what about the blackness would they be venerating? Are you saying like wouldn't that be equal to like them claiming that blackness is the life-giving force?
We would have to go find them actually saying that. See, the problem with people using their religious texts is that we're not all the way clear on all what they meant in some of their religious texts. So a lot of scholars are just going off of what they think and how they assume or what they're meaning. We're not really clear 100% because there's a lot of text and information about their culture that's missing. And we're really just taking like 5,000 years, you know, because we got to count some of the stuff coming from pre-dynastic time and roll it over into dynastic time and trying to put together a piece of puzzle that's completely fragmented and assume we're getting close to a full picture. We don't have that full picture, and we're not even sure when we're gonna get to that full picture yet.
No, I got you. So let me try to restate what I'm asking you, right? Like, do y'all consider what would the statement be implying if they were talking about skin color? Because at that point, it almost would sound like that they're saying that we're better than everybody else because we're black.
No, at what point in time do we say that it's about skin color? See, the thing about it is that there's different determinatives that's going to point you towards skin color. There's different time where it's going to talk about hair. It could be talking about eyes. Kemet as a whole, with the city determinative, is really just black, and then we use the determinative to say like something like city. I don't really point to whether it's talking about the people or not as far as like skin color, because
They never identify people by skin. They always identify them based on where they're from and their cultural identification.
Now we do have a text where they're talking about somebody in skin color term, where they're saying that they're saying that basically you remind me of a great black Nubian. And then we also have references in certain hymns where they're talking about skin color, and they're saying that
let's freeze right there for a second. Let's freeze right there, right? Because if I say that you remind me of the great black Nubians, right? How can I then be saying that your natural disposition is a Nubian, right? If anything, I'm saying is that the real black people are the Nubian. The thing that you remind me of.
No, there are certain words.
You don't see that?
Hold on, bro. There are certain words that are specifically designed for the Egyptians and Egyptians only. Sort of like, and the terms that they use specifically for themselves, they don't necessarily use outside of themselves. Like you mainly hear them use Remech for themselves. Now, every now and then you'll see it showing about mankind, but mostly Remech is used for Egyptians only. It's like it's almost an exclusive term.
Okay, so the part that you said that I addressed, right, is you said that another Egyptian referred to another Egyptian, and he said that you remind me of a Nubian because of his skin color, right?
No, he said great black Nubian.
Right, he remind me of the great black Nubian because of his skin color, right?
I don't know whether I'm just saying he refers to somebody based on skin. I'm not. That's what it said. I can't go any further than that because some of the text is broken. But just based on strictly, if I'm not going to use my own tertiary or what I think or what it possibly could mean, if I'm gonna go word for word, buck for buck, that's what it said. Now you have to interpret it.
That's what I'm doing. I'm asking you a question, bro. So like, hold on. Watch this. I'm gonna lower the stakes.
Let me finish my statement. Can I finish my statement? Damn. You have to interpret it how you want to interpret it based on your logic. But based on what it said, that's what it says. I can only go off of what it says.
But you're not speaking to my question, right? If I say that you dance like Michael Jackson, right? I'm basically saying that you dance better than the average person, right? You dance so well it reminds me of a superstar, right? So I'm not saying that you are a superstar. I'm saying that the way that you dance reminds me of the real thing, right?
Man,
so if I say that you're black, if I say that you remind me of a
where is the source? Where is the source? Because you playing the 21 question game. That's soft shoeing.
I ain't playing no 21 question game.
Where is the source?
Don't
be waiting on. This is filler in between. Where that source at?
I don't know what you're doing right now, bro. We having a good conversation. You tripping. So like I'm saying, if I say that you remind me of the real thing, then I can't be calling you the real thing. I can't. How is that possible?
But what Sadiq is saying, it lacks context of what he was trying to say.
Can Sadiq answer the question, please?
He just said that.
I can barely understand you. Can I please have Sadiq? You know what, bro?
I'm listening.
Don't get knocked off your square, Logic. You're gonna do it. A lot of people talking.
Is the TLA
is what I'm saying?
I'm about to say, stay right there, Logic. You got him. You got him right there. Stay right there.
I don't know if it's
am I saying it in a confusing way? This will be the third time I've asked it now.
I got a quick question for those asking for a source. since James P. Allen is no longer accepted as a source, will the
We never
TLA
said
work?
that. We never said James P. Allen was no source. What are you talking about?
Okay, I did post James P. Allen, but I got the TLA if y'all prefer that.
You
But
posted
we
something
never
in the
said.
chat. What is this? You posted
I'm,
something in
I'm,
the chat.
I'm getting ready to post the TLA.
No, but what is this that you
So
posted?
y'all just gonna ignore Logic whole premise right
Of
there.
course they're
Behind
definitely
that.
gonna ignore it, bro.
No,
All right, let's
listen,
go here.
Buddy put. Hold
Solve
on,
the logic
relax.
first. Solve the
Buddy
logic
put
thing
forth a question, right? He said they got a glyph saying X, Y, and Z, right? That was his example. Logic in return saying, okay, based on what you're saying, this is what I'm gathering from that. And then the conversation never got hashed out after that. No one is acknowledging that he is putting
Because
forth.
he put forth the question in response to something that I said to Mel about they never referred to people based on skin color. That had nothing to do with. Yes, that had
This is about
nothing
the
to
great
do
black
with.
Nubian statement.
Is that him answering my question?
that.
Say it.
Not at
God,
all.
dude, I'm trying to give context of how it all started. This had nothing to do with Logic originally. It had something to do with Mel. That's what I was addressing. Now, based on your statement, Logic, if I were to address that, I'd be addressing it based on my own interpretations and not what was said.
But that's what y'all do anyway.
I just told you specifically, and I've said this multiple times, I leave it up to what is said, and that's it. I don't try to add no spin to it because now I'm adding my own interpretation to what is written.
So now you're afraid to add your own interpretation to it. But some kind of way y'all can translate it and interpret it that way. That's hilarious.
I've said that in multiple times. I translated directly word for word. I've said this multiple times. This ain't even the first time that you and I have talked that I have said the same thing. Some may go further than others. Some may go further than me, and that's
Even
fine. That ain't up
after
to me.
you translate it word for word, in order to understand it, you would have to interpret it, right? Right?
What it says is what it says, and I leave it at that. That's what I leave it at.
Listen, I'm listening. Right. So I think like Logic, like the conversation got bogged down when you remind me of a great black Nubian. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, and then he said, well, I'm not saying. You said, is that because they both had black skin, right? And then he said, well, I'm not going to say that that's why, because you know what I'm saying? Because basically what he's saying is that he's saying that when the person says that you remind me of great black Nubian, what Sadiq is saying that the fact that he reminds him of a great black Nubian is not necessarily because that guy was black and he was black, right? Because that could be one interpretation. You remind me of great black Nubian because I'm black like that and you're black, right? That's one interpretation. Or it can be like, you remind me of a great black Nubian, right? I'm just saying a great black Nubian, but you remind me of a great black Nubian because y'all both are strong, right? And it may not be nothing in terms of skin. That's all Sadiq is saying. So he said, I'm not going to say it's because they both have skin. That's what he's saying.
So somehow that glyph pops up, but they're not applying that to them.
Yeah, I guess.
No, he's only using it.
I don't understand.
That defeats everything that they've ever done. Then that defeats everything they ever done.
No, I'm saying, listen.
Exactly.
He's only No, but listen, he's only
why would he bring it up as anything?
Because he's trying to show people of an
that
Egyptian
referred to
using skin
color
color
and refer to themselves.
Yes.
No, I ain't saying that
it could have not been about skin color.
Referring to themselves. I'm saying that he's showing examples where they do use skin color, and they're going to try to show another one that shows that they are talking about themselves in this one, even though the great black Nubian they ain't. Like we acting like they not playing games.
Yeah, but I'm saying so what he's saying is that
in some kind of way.
So all he's saying is that
he's dancing around this shit right now.
All he's saying is that an example, right? Take it or leave it, of an example of a time when Egyptians used color to refer to people. No, because that's the same thing. It's on Smash Video. It's on Smash Video.
Can I say something?
It's on Smash Video. It's the same comment on Smash Video.
I did post several colors back there in the TLA.
Joey background, man. Crazy. Joey, you got to mute your background, bro. Your background.
Hey,
go ahead.
Nobody never saying what they saying, but they saying what they saying. What they saying.
Can I say something quickly? What we're saying is when you look at the word, they have something called a no. They're specifically talking about physical appearance.
No, okay, I had to step outside for a second, but so my point is, my point is really that, like,
Joey will talk a lot. It's gonna be too much. Let Joey finish. It's gonna be too much. Let her finish, Corey. It's gonna be too much feedback. You talk with Joey talk.
If you know the language and you see certain glyphs, which are called alternatives attached to the word, then you know it's skin color and not something else. So in this particular instance, if you look at it and you see a specific,
they're not debating that.
They're not debating that though. Right, but if you don't read the text, you can't argue if it was color or not. And if you look at the text, you don't know what to look for. You can't debate what is color and what is actually.
You don't read the text. Y'all kill me with that.
Yeah, but they're not even arguing with
so my
part.
point.
They agree with the color part.
My point is that you can't, like, how do you, when you say somebody reminds you of something, then that typically means that they're not the thing that they remind you of, right? You know what I'm saying?
No,
that's,
it could be both.
That would be the whole way that you would even use that phrase.
No, if I say you remind me of, Michael Jordan, then you remind me how, like, you play like Michael. The basketball style remind me like, or it could be that you remind me like, or you talk like him. You know what I'm saying? It's other variables.
He also said, but he also said that part of the text is missing.
But if you say you just as black as Michael Jordan, that's a whole
tripping.
No, he agrees. He agrees with that.
Oh man,
what I'm saying is that. What I'm saying is that he agrees with that part, Corey. He agrees that the black, like y'all on the same page in terms of the great black Nubian thing. He don't disagree with that.
So but that's not why he's putting it forth, though. So you're letting them get out with that.
Yeah,
all right, go ahead, ask him again.
I'm not arguing, Sosa. I'm not arguing. It's just funny to me. It's all.
No, I don't think y'all, like, where do y'all think y'all disagree? Because I've been listening, like, where do y'all?
I don't disagree if that's what that glyph is saying. I disagree with why they put it forth.
I think he's clearly saying,
it's symbolic.
He's saying that they do refer to themselves in a skin color.
Right.
That's not themselves, but they use it for those distinctions. Like when you look at them as that, yes. But in return, they're using that to say, okay, now when we find this one that says the Egyptians and there's a skin color next to that one, it validates it. That's their whole point.
Yeah, but you got to show somebody.
I mean, the onus is on them to continue. However, they put it forth for that reason.
Oh yeah, we can all agree on that. We still need.
Yes, but I'm saying, but Logic, Logic, what he does, Logic could kind of jump out there and kind of try to skip to the end of your argument. I think that's what he did right there, was try to poke a hole in it before they could even use it.
Yeah, but see, the whole thing, that's what I'm saying. That's why he stopped, because he's saying, well, it doesn't matter if the Egyptians were black and they were black, but what we do know is that they describe that.
Yeah.
So he's saying, I ain't gonna. But what we can say for certain, because the glyphs mission, that they call them the Great Black Nubian. That's an example of itself. You know what I'm saying? That's
we
one thing
gathered that,
for certain. I'm saying, but he can't say that the reason that the dude remind him of Great Black Nubian is because he himself also is black.
Is black.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, he's saying we can't do that. That's what he's trying to explain the logic before it kind of went in different directions.
Exactly. So he's saying based on what we're reading, we can determine it's a skin color reference. You can't draw anything other than it was a skin color reference. Can't say that you said it because of this. You said it because of that.
Yeah, that's what I said. I initially said that they're trying to establish
Corey,
that
am
they
I
use
tripping,
it.
dog?
This is the only conversation where everybody be confused. Bro. It ain't nothing but a bunch of confusion, bro.
Nah, I'm not confused. I think me and Sam on the same page. Lottie, where you think we
Yeah,
different?
I
What I
agree
just said?
with what Sosa just said. I'm just saying I'm talking about why they using it though. I think
No,
it's a separate
yeah, we know why they
argument.
use it. You know
Nobody
What's that?
Joey, you gotta mute. You gotta mute, Joey. You gotta get this
Joey,
mic.
you got Joey running interference. I mean, it's wild, bro. I don't understand.
Lottie, so explain your point, Lottie. Now explain your point, Lottie. So let me see if I can explain your point.
It's fair to say,
hold on, Joey. Joey already got your take on it, Joey. We got your take on. Let me get Lottie.
Yeah, I was so like I'm trying to say that even in the example, right, whereas you would be willing to call the Nubian the Great Black in the example, right? So I'm saying, like, let's say for intensive, just for argument's sake, if we are comparing skin colors, right?
I play basketball.
If I say that you are dark like a Nubian, right? I'm basically saying that your darkness doesn't remind me of anything I'm familiar with. I'm reminded. It reminds me of something that's more about them, right? Like I'm saying that your color almost doesn't belong here. It belongs there.
Okay, so one more time, because you maybe got chopped out for me. Like I don't know, it was me and the Matrix.
Okay, let me step outside.
That was you though, Sosa, because he was pretty clear.
Yeah, I heard him.
You've been chopping up the whole.
Oh, that's what
your
Yeah, so-
perception kind of choppy
So
too.
I'm basically saying like even in the example where if you were to call the Nubian the Great Black, in that example, the standard of black would be the Nubian, right? So if I'm comparing your blackness to the standard of blackness, right? You measuring up, right? Like you're measuring up to the standard, which is over here, the Nubian, right? You're less like me, more like them. That's to me that's very clear in what he's saying. He's
but logic, I'll say if the text is incomplete, then it's up to you. If the text is incomplete, then it's up to you to make your own interpretation.
Your point ain't gonna never get across.
No, I understand what you're saying.
I understand what you.
But that's a fair interpretation of the text. You have to interpret what's seen. So that might be a fair interpretation.
Listen, logic. I don't know if you get
talking about something totally
different. Can you hear me? No logic.
Yeah, I can hear you.
That might not be what we don't know.
All right, Joey, hold on a second. All right, I get that point. Right? Because that's a different question. Because y'all got bogged down when you asked him, is it because he's saying that he's black? Like that's when the conversation fell apart, right? But that what you're asking, you're saying that since if the great black Nubian is the standard, because they call him right? You're saying if they refer to them as the great black, then why would they use basically blacks refer to themselves if Nubians are already the great black, right? That's basically what you're just supposing? Because that would be the standard.
I'm saying I'm saying that they're acknowledging that the of course that standard of whatever they're talking about is more Nubian than it is Egyptian.
Because they're the great black, right? Because they're the great black, right? Okay, yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. But I'm saying the conversation bogged down on some other stuff. But yeah, that's
I think you actually missed the part because what I heard, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody said, "Oh, they didn't use race to distinguish XYZ," and then he said, "Oh no, they did." Remember?
Yeah, he said we found this. Yeah,
he said, "Yeah, we found this." And remember when they said the Nubians and the Great Black? So it was used in the conversation as yes, they did use it racially.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, if that's them using it racially, well then they're acknowledging that they're not the real black people then.
Yeah, but what the question you asked was
they use it racially.
Nobody said nothing about racially.
Well, color. We got the. But we got to refer to them as a color. Like, I don't know how y'all do.
Color's not race. Color's not race.
Joey, mute up. Joey, mute up.
Is color not a prerequisite for what race?
Joey, chill out. Joey, like we can't.
I'm trying to work with you with this connection, but you're not working with us, bro.
Yeah, it's too much. It's too much interference.
Be on purpose, because
I like you gotta stop. You gotta have to meet.
We have a lot of other conversations, Brass. Listen, we have a whole lot of conversations, right? Somehow, once we start getting to Egypt conversation, right?
Sir.
It's like
it's like the scrambler on
the confusion, like everybody confused on everything, bro. Motherfuckers, microphones quit working and shit.
Nah, it can't been like that. Nah, Jody might have been like that, man. That's why.
I'm talking about like
overboard.
For years. It's been like this for years, bro. Like it's like I swear to God, this is the most confusing. And somehow I gotta think like I don't know what it is, but somehow it's got to be like intentional somehow. I don't understand like how you can't get past 1 point, every single point, and then everybody talking about a different
points,
point.
Though, Corey. We was at 1 point, then we went to another point, then we
That's
went
how
to
it
another
goes
point.
with
This is some weird shit.
This is why I say it's got to be on.
I mean, look how many dots niggas try to connect
every
to make
time
their point.
it goes like that, Brass. It's like 10 different people making 10 different points. Like every time somebody come in, they making a different point. So the original point never got addressed. So it's just a bunch of goddamn confusion. I don't know.
We're at the same. We're already at the same point though now. Listen. Hold on 1 second. Everybody agrees. Seth agrees. Logic agrees. Deep. Mel agrees that it's the great black Nubians and it's the great black, right? Now we need to distinguish why the blackness is not race. We're all at the same point right now.
We're not on the same point, so
no.
We're not.
So kind of offers some clarity. He
I ain't talking about clarity.
He rewinding it back though. I'm saying he rewinding it back to
I'm
the point we stopped
saying there was
an
original conversation before y'all even started this one.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Mel was supposed to be finding some kind of text for Sadiq and Tuck. And then we just flew off into this, and Mel
because Mel said that they didn't use color to describe a group. So Sadiq provided the source.
I also posted.
Let's say this shit sound like a primary source.
Providing.
Hold on, Mel. Did you find the primary source? Yes.
I gave you James P. Allen and also gave you the TLA
interpretation. Just tell me where it's at.
Goddamn bullshit.
So is it this link at 307?
Links to the TLA.
Is this at 307? I'm saying this link.
Yeah, there should be multiple links back there.
Yeah, I can't
TLA.
pull it. But if I pull it up, it's gonna take me out the Discord. So it ain't
okay. Well, look at the pictures I put up from James P. Allen's book.
Okay, so the first one. This is for Sadiq, Tuck, and Joey. Then we can get back to black race or something. The Egyptians had several names for their own country, including you got to Land of the Hoe, and KMT, quote unquote black, in contrast to Deseret, the red of the desert. The most common name, however, was simply the two lands. This reflects the geographical division between Upper and Lower Egypt. To the south is the narrow Nile Valley, Egyptian Thin, or South, just north of modern Cairo and ancient Memphis. The Nile branches out nowadays into 2 branches, east and west, but in ancient times into 7. This region is known as the Delta. In ancient times, it was largely marshland, and the Egyptians called it marsh. So why did you post that before I read the next thing?
Because I know it ain't nothing with
Hold on. Okay, so that's James P. Allen, but is it primary is the question.
If you want the primary, that's why I put the TLA back there.
So this, what I'm reading, is it the primary is what I'm asking?
James P. Allen is.
Okay,
James
you
P.
keep
Allen is
not answering the
teaching.
question, so now I gotta pin you to
No,
yes or no. Are these two
not
pictures?
primary.
Yes, are they primaries male?
It's not a primary, but James P. Allen
Okay,
is an
so then I don't
instructor.
need to read them. Okay, so Sadiq, click this link because if I click the link, it's gonna click off of the what's the name?
Where is it
So
posted at?
just go
Where is it
to
posted?
the
It's
TLA and look
posted
it
in
up.
the
It's in the back
it's
chat.
no,
This one.
I can't do it. It's in the back chat.
This one.
He
Just click on
posted
the
it. He
click
put it
on
in
the
there at
messages here.
307 from the TLA. If I pull it up, it's gonna click
Who
off.
are these niggas?
Yeah.
It's the
So
one
that
under
wasn't a primary. So that's 0 for 1, Mel. I gotta tell you. I ain't
it's
gonna
the
lie
one
to
Not
with
you.
really.
the
Not
no,
really.
no, he didn't pull it up for a primary. He pulled it up because he said,
But that was what he was
because I'm
supposed to pull
listening.
it up
But
for.
Yeah,
James
but I'm
P. Allen.
listening though. He said
Because I know
so
it
we're
ain't
not going to
nothing
use
but
James
push.
P. Allen. He
I
said
said that.
who good? So that's why he went there because he said, are we going
Oh, okay, okay. I
with
remember
James
that
P. Allen?
conversation.
James P. Allen
All right.
is one of the primary people in the field teaching Egyptian language
And they use
Right,
James P.
but you
at
just said
Brown
it's not a
University
primary though.
today. So
I've
whether
I
heard
know,
them
people
but
want to
use
accept
James
him or
P.
not,
Allen.
I understand that, but you just said it wasn't a primary.
I
I'm
don't.
just saying, give him. Listen, just
I'm
give
not.
them what they.
It's not
Go
off
ahead,
of the
bro.
wall, but you can still use it. It's accurate.
Yeah, but if it's not a primary, okay, Mel, I know you in there fighting, bro, and I'm on the outside looking. If a man asks you for a primary, it could be the greatest thing since sliced bread. But if it ain't a primary, you ain't giving the man what he asked for.
But, but, but Brass, he also needs to understand that James P. Allen was part of an editorial who updated his work. He does not say what he's saying there. They have a new
What
grammar book.
version? Because I have multiple versions of that book. What version?
Hey, go get that, Joey. Go get that one,
Yeah,
Joey.
now Joey, I'm gonna say something to you just to be fair. Hold on, Joey, I'm gonna say something to you just to be fair. The nigga's name is the archivist. I don't think you want to start talking about different versions of
Go
shit.
get
I'm
it.
pretty sure you got it.
Yeah, I'm about to say he really sourced out on that.
Yeah, the nigga is like the source king.
Let's go get it.
No, it's not a different version of James P. Allen.
I'm
This is
sure he has them.
Yeah, what
Of
version
course.
are you talking about? I have
He
all of
has
them.
that. Well, if he had that, he wouldn't be saying the black land because this
Okay,
grammar
go
says
pull up a
black
version.
and the
Go pull up
All
a
right,
version
now the
and
onus
correct
is
it.
on you. Pull up the version
Joey,
you talking
just
about.
stop talking,
Yep.
Joey.
Stop talking. Go pull up the version
Go
you got.
get it, bro. Come back. Let's kill it.
That's
Damn,
how I
you
be
got
telling
it.
y'all. Sometimes y'all shouldn't talk.
Let me go out.
Sometimes
got
y'all
him.
should just chill.
Let me go out and find it and come back in because I have
Please.
Just
You
go
ain't
get
gotta
it. You don't
go
got to
out.
announce
You
it.
don't
Just go get it. Yeah, go get it.
gotta leave. This is how sometimes y'all will talk yourselves into some crazy shit. If you wouldn't have said that, you wouldn't be. It is what it is. Shout out to
Yeah, but
Jody
now
Breeze in the building, Noslin Pride in the building, Sadiq in the building. Sadiq, he might have killed them with that one. And Tuck, he still hasn't found the primary source you asked for an hour ago. Y'all can go back to whatever y'all
He
talking
can go
about.
pull up the TLA though.
They're pulling it up now.
Primary source
Yeah.
of hours,
I'm
yo.
in it. I'm in it.
Why the
I'm in
fuck
the
niggas
TLA. What am I
they
supposed?
never get to put forth sources?
The link is in the link is when you click that link from the back chat,
No, no.
Sadiq.
Nah,
did it
let him
come
talk
up?
to Mel. Let him talk to Mel, Brad, so he can explain it to him.
Okay, go ahead.
I did.
Explain it to
No,
him, Mel.
What's up?
no. On that, is that satisfying what we're talking about?
So the TLA provides the translation. So you see, we can look up the translation, and it's good.
No, I'm saying does it satisfy the conversation on you saying that these colors are basically a religious thing tied to black means this, green means that, yellow means
Yeah, no,
this.
they're more than okay. So I have sources for those, but they're more than just religious.
That's what we were. No, that's what we were
Okay,
looking
so
for.
yeah,
That's what I was.
there's multiple sources where I got that from. Toby Wilkerson is one of them. Richard H. Hold on, let me pull it up here. I got it. I'll go pull up Toby's book because I have his book.
Yeah, let's jump in those because that TLA that wasn't it.
But it does explain what those color with the KM.T represents, and that it's not based on peoples.
What the commentary says, yes, we get that. I'm saying
No. The TLA is not commentary.
Yes, it is commentary.
TLA is not commentary.
It's common. It's broken pieces that they actually put in there, and then we're waiting on the part where they explain that, because when they explain that, that's when you bring in the commentary. What you're talking about.
Oh, okay. You
When
want the commentary outside of that? Sure, yeah, I can bring that.
Yeah,
in.
when they translate it is one thing, but when they go into explanation, that's commentary.
Gotcha. Yep, I understand it.
The chat is asking, when you find the TLA, can you share it so they can see it?
I'll try to take a screenshot and maybe send it to you, or
Yeah,
maybe
if you
Mel,
could,
if you could do that, Mel, because that'll be easier for Brass.
Yeah, because the chat is like really they're with y'all right now, and some of them are saying, the majority are saying Logic is right. I don't know what Logic is right about, but they're saying Logic is right.
Because y'all didn't get back to the Great Black,
which is what I thought this was about. Why he put that forth?
Because he
No,
put forth
that wasn't why it got put forth. It got put forth because Mel said that they didn't speak on people about skin color. They didn't use skin color to talk about people. That's where the original commentary came in.
Okay, yeah, you
went off.
coming back to that. Right. So
go ahead.
Listen, Sadiq. So coming back to that, you played that as like a spade. You know what I'm saying?
Is what he said.
Yeah, you played it like boom. You say we ain't got no. Yeah, so bam. How about that?
Cut out just so you know. You cut out just so you know. But I can
I'm
pick up
saying
what
you played it as a trump card. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just throwing that out. I was throwing that out as a wrinkle because people use that as a statement as if that's a full-fledged fact when that's not necessarily the facts. There are more things to that. Even when we talk about the hymn to Aten, when they talk about people being separated based on skin color. So that's what I was talking about.
Were you you get to a
next
you
because I
get
knew
to a
that's where I
point.
was going.
Go ahead. Go ahead,
muted?
Priest. No, Logic, you good.
No,
You
you
done
mentioned it
talking,
before
Sid?
I did. No, I said I was going to mention the hymn now, and because that was another example they used before, right?
So I think at some point, and say is right. I do this, and not even intentionally. I do try to meet you at the end of your argument. As soon as I hear it, I'm trying to figure out where you're going with that shit. So if I hear, when I hear the blackness, I'm almost asking y'all, have y'all fully like explored what's the end of that? Like, how does that actually change all the other stuff that they're saying? Because if I'm not mistaken, that they're widely considered in academia as xenophobic, right? They absolutely have like a large amount of cultural pride and national pride, but they're not considered racist, right? So if I change what they're talking about and change the black to actual skin color, like now they're racist. You get that, or am I tripping?
Yep.
If they're making those distinctions based on race, like now they're racist. But the accurate way to describe them and their cultural experience is xenophobic, not racist.
But I do agree with that to a degree. The only thing I would say is it's not necessarily a fear of outsiders the way we would use xenophobia today.
Right, I know it's xeno something. Phobia is not what the suffix should be, but it's xeno something. I forget exactly what it is.
But I get what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, that's an excellent point.
Case closed. Where's the retort?
No, case not closed. Case not closed. You said you were trying to meet me at the end of my argument. What was the end of my argument?
The end of your argument would have had to been that they're talking about blackness, right? You said that they're not talking about skin, and you correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody asserted that they actually did separate themselves based on this racial category or skin color. So I'm a little confused as to who said it, but I'm even more so confused as to what you're talking about if you're not talking about skin color. But you can explain.
Let me go back. Let me start from the beginning again. Mel originally said that they didn't judge people or look people based on skin color. And I said, or talk about people based on skin color. I said, well, here's one caveat to that statement where you have to address that, which is the Great Black Nubian. Then I also addressed the Him to Aten when they also talked about separating people into based on skin color. That was the end of that conversation for me. I was given
Let him finish what he's saying. I want because I mean I get what you're saying. Even though you kind of went anomaly fishing to find that, because in 5,000 years, if you can only give me one example, you definitely can't say it was a common theme, right? You can't say that. So you find this one example and try to apply it for 5,000 years. I don't know how fair that is, but you're kind of doing it.
But I got a point to make. I also want to make sure that my point in saying that was within racial undertones. Like they wasn't using color to identify people racially, like how we do today.
Yeah, that's what Mel was saying the whole time.
They had their own ways of identifying people from location and from their attire culturally, and that also includes their language. And you can see that consistently in the glyphs.
And that's what Mel said initially.
I agree with that. All I did was introduce another bit of caveat to go along with that. Like,
okay, and then we asked why you introduced that portion though,
because it was not because it was put out as if it was a blanket statement, as if that was absolute, when it's not absolute. That was it.
But what did you say? But Mel's description of how they describe people is the overwhelming majority of how they use.
That's it. For the most part, yes, that was the most part of that's what they.
Okay, so that's back to Logic's point. You have to find the anomaly in that.
No,
go ahead,
I know.
I should have.
It was not. I was addressing that. It is. They have references where they have used that. It was not to go out and go look for anomaly. It was to say that it happened. That's all I'm saying. It happened. Y'all want to go further as if I'm trying to make more of a topic than it really was.
I never said you went to go find that. Personally, I never said that.
No, I'm saying it happened. We know. You didn't have to say I did it because we already have it. We could pull that up like off the top of our dome. I'm just giving you the point that's not the absolute state. That's not an absolute statement to say that this is the only way that they've ever looked at people.
So then that leads to.
But still, if they by and large, yeah, you dancing like I don't like this. Why is it like why you have to do the dance when you yourself acknowledge that that's not the common way of how they identify with those people?
Yes, so that means that also, one specific one you're referencing probably has more meaning than just skin color.
Also, I want to add.
Are we having a conversation where we just like, okay, if we want to flush out all of these conversations, sometimes we have to introduce everything about it.
I want to also add
with just like, I want to have a gotcha moment. It ain't got to be like a gotcha.
It's not gotcha. We having a conversation.
This is my
we definitely can't treat the anomalies like common occurrence either.
That's not a gotcha. I'm taking all the pieces and making a conclusion. Maybe it's a little premature, but that's fine. I'll get the rest of it later on. However, this is what I think is alluding to.
I also want to add that a lot of the colors that they had access to were based on the materials they had access to. So we have to keep that in mind, that if we're going to base identifying peoples based on color, you would have to have consistently, certain materials, rocks, stones, etc., to be able to consistently produce those colors. And that's why the colors are so diverse. Even, when Egyptians are showing themselves, there's a similar theme, but there are different shades across the board.
What we're saying here, Brass, is that what I'm saying and others are saying is when they use the term black to describe themselves, not racial, just a such as big ears, big eyes, big nose, bottom. It has no race.
But that's racial.
It's never said. It's never racially. They
That was
never.
a racial comment, yo.
Yeah, they never racially go out and say we are the black
Mel.
people.
Hold on, Mel.
I'm
hold on. Wait, Joey.
Nah, let him finish. Let him get that out, bro. Because that was damn
I
what he was
know,
about to
I know,
say. Let him get that out.
bro.
About to kill us.
Finish his sentence, and then I want to say something because I'm offended. Go ahead and say what you're about to say.
Race is more skin color. Race deals with inferiority and superiority. And that's not science. That's just I am white and white is great. That is race. Saying you're black doesn't necessarily say that you're superior. But it is a genetic fact that you can appear black. You can appear brown. You can appear red. That's a genetic fact. You can appear coat of white. That necessarily say you're superior. And that the ancient Kemetic people might have felt some superiority. It may not have been based on race. It may have been based on I don't like
you. Are tripping.
But where did you go?
That is
with,
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
The
how do you
Egyptians
think
have
these,
no problem
these are
calling
very
themselves superior. No
brands,
problem
like,
with that.
Hey Joey, well, why do you say? But where was you going with the? Hold on, Joseph. Where was you going with the? Because you started on inferiority and superiority. So where did you go? Where you going with the big lips and the big this and the big that? Like, I'm confused about why you started going down that path, but not saying race.
What I said was black is just like saying someone has big lips or big body, big eyes, or big head.
So you
As
said,
opposed to race.
so you said black is like saying somebody got big lips, big eyes, and a big head.
That's what he think the Egyptians are saying. That's what he think Egypt is saying.
I'm saying it was just a physical description. It didn't have anything to do with race. Because race is based on inferiority and superiority. It's not science-based. Skin color
I feel
has some
uneducated and offended. I don't know if I should be offended because I'm uneducated on the subject, but I hope that they weren't thinking that black meant big lips, big head, and big eyes.
You trying to say that the Egyptians, it was like if you don't got the big lips and the peppercorn hair, you're not Egyptian. That's what he's saying. That's exactly
I know you saying that's not what you're saying, but I gave you 3 times to clean it up, and you just keep saying black means big lips, big head.
I picked the wrong word. Let me rephrase. What I'm saying is,
I mean, you might be right. Don't have me knock you off my square. I just said it just sounds a little wild.
Clearly, yo, just say what you're saying.
Let me clean it up. What I'm saying is, you walked up to a woman and said she has a big bottom. That's a physical description. No racial understanding.
In 2025, yes.
Well,
but
back
there
then,
are people with big bottoms, Puerto Ricans with big bottoms. There's a lot of people with big bottoms. Black don't mean big bottom.
No. I'm just simply saying it's equated to any physical description. Talk about your ears, your nose.
Of any color, though.
Well,
you said black. You're saying black is like exclusive to big lips, big eye. I heard you, Joey. I don't know if you misspoke or something.
No, what I'm saying is black is simply a physical description. Just as saying, if you say a person has big feet, that's the same vein of saying you're black. It doesn't have any connotation other than what the person looks like. It doesn't go deeper than what they look like. So any physical description is the same as saying black. It doesn't go superiority or inferiority. When you see them talking about people a certain way, because they didn't like these people and they thought they would come back. When you hear them bad talking people, why they didn't like these. Like, for example, they thought the Asiatics were untrustworthy because they invited them in and then they took over. That's where they beat that particular. I'm not saying they didn't. I'm not saying they didn't take.
Joey,
I'm
pause for a minute.
Pause out, Joey, because I don't understand what you're saying and your mic cutting out.
I don't understand how you can reach a conclusion like that and it don't be political. Everything he said was like non-scientific, all racial categories, big eyes, big lips, and all that kind of stuff. Like how are you even attempting to have the real conversation like that? Like you're not even like You're not talking about culture. You're not talking about language. You're not like nothing about location. You're talking about big lips and big eyes. That's I don't understand.
Tuck got something to say. Tuck got something to
Let
say.
Sadiq get in there. Well, hold on, wait. Let Sadiq get in there and then Mel. Go ahead, Sadiq.
Now I want to say Tuck look like he ready. He fuming. Go ahead, Tuck. Talk your
Okay,
shit.
go ahead, Tuck. I ain't even looking at the screen. Go ahead, Tuck.
No, this just started with we wanted a primary for what he said. Well, first he just told a tale about him not saying that about the color distinguishing. That's all we was talking about. And then he brought up race afterwards because then it turned into the 21 question game. So Logic turned it into how can I make them racist for saying black? Don't care if they said black in any kind of way. That's what it's gonna turn into. And that's what he just did with the whole thing. He played the 21 question game until he heard something he didn't like, and then we off with the smelly fish again. Now we off arguing about racism. That's what just happened. So we didn't get the primary. We got that right. We didn't get the primary, which we let him look for an hour. And then
I got the primary. I got the primary.
Now the Egyptians is racist.
Wait, Mel.
I got the primary.
Hold on, Mel. Tuck. They did get the TLA. I can't show it right now. Sadiq or Mel is trying to put it in the form.
No, that wasn't it.
Not a primary. Okay, listen. The TLA is primary, but it's not a primary for what he said. It's not at all.
And I also have 2 books.
Hold on, say that again.
Tuck saying it right. Tuck saying it right.
I have 2 books from the anthropologist Richard H. Wilkinson, and I put them both in the chat. And
which dynasty is he? Which dynasty is he?
He's an anthropologist.
I like that question. Is it a
that was a dumb question.
That's what I'm doing. I don't even care. I don't even care about nothing they say no more, Brad.
Of course you don't care.
I'm learning. Listen, Brad, I'm learning fighting style, and I'm walking them down. So I see what they doing. They don't
walk me down.
They don't really want to talk about this. Say it, I don't care. They don't really want to talk about
this. You can't walk me down.
Want to talk about this. They got their position.
You're making a lot of self-proclamations right now.
They got their position, and they gonna stay there. I get it.
I
got it.
He can stay ignorant.
Y'all gonna stay there.
Hey, Tuck. Let me say this. I just looked at that paper. No, it's not a primary.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you.
So I hate to say this.
It's not a paper.
Hold on.
It's not a paper.
Let me get a little bit of order. A little bit of order. I do have to say this. If they asked y'all for a primary to back up what you're saying, and you said there is a primary to back up what you're saying, but you can't find a primary to back up what you're saying, and you keep presenting stuff that is not primaries to back up what you're saying, that's a little fishy though.
So I did provide a primary. What I was quoting from was from Richard Wilkinson, who is a known anthropologist.
No, hold on. But is that a primary? I'm asking
yes.
you. Is it a primary story? Okay,
yes.
So where's it at? Okay, so
I posted it in the back. He did a whole chapter on color in relation to its symbology with the ancient Egyptian.
Hold on. You don't got to tell me. You said it's in the back.
Just read chapter 5. That's all you got to do. And then he uses examples.
The whole chapter, I promise you. What time
he uses examples on the walls, and he clarifies their symbolic undertones.
Is it the one at 346?
What's 346?
Whatever. It's the only picture in here. I can't click any links. So is this the only picture in here?
He put it in the voice chat, didn't he?
I'm in the voice. Yeah, I'm in the voice chat. Something at 346.
That's not a facsimile.
No, I was quoting from him. That's I was quoting from him.
So who you want to hear from Akhenaten itself? What the fuck are we talking about?
Yes,
Is this what's on the screen right now? The appearance of the world, the symbolism
of color.
That's
the beginning chapter. And if you click on the link,
this is the primary. Hold on, this is the primary source, correct?
Correct.
No,
you're saying what? Wait,
No,
proving
that's
your
not.
point of saying what? I'm gonna get
When
right back to
they
you,
do
Steve.
that,
When I was
This is
explaining,
your.
I was
Hold
Hey,
on.
that's
Hold
a
on,
red
Mel. I
herring.
just
You're
want to
doing a
ask
red herring, bro.
Mel. I
said
just want
y'all
to
ain't
ask a
fighting
simple
fair. I
question.
ain't fighting fair. Y'all ain't fighting
I
So
fair.
you
I
just,
ain't fighting
admitting it? You admitting that you making
Tuck,
shit
Tuck,
up?
I just want to ask a simple question.
yes.
This is the primary source, Mel, of proving what?
When I stated the 4 different colors that I gave red, black, green, and I think yellow was the other color.
Yellowish 10. Yeah, yellowish
Yeah,
10.
yellow gold. When I gave those 4 colors and I gave the symbolic representation by those colors, as well as the religious connotation with those colors, and also when I referenced the color complexity with men and women when they are painted on the walls, that was directly from Richard Wilkinson's book.
So
Okay,
Not,
so now,
that does not.
Daddy,
That does not
hold on,
mean.
man.
That does not mean primary. Just because you got it from somebody's
What
book,
do you mean?
that does not mean it's. You have to know what the difference
Okay, so
between primary,
if he
secondary, and
So he's pulling
tertiary.
it from the wall. How they what?
He,
He's supposed to cut the
it's
shit
not.
out and bring it with him. What are we talking about here?
he was
He
there.
Bro,
is making
did you even look
commentary
at
about what he sees. That's
So
not
are
Did
you.
you
primary.
What
just?
the
It's not a commentary.
Of course, and I never call myself a primary source.
You ain't
Neither
called
did
Never
yourself
did.
Mel.
an anthropologist either.
What?
Hey,
Man,
honestly, like the
I'm
way y'all
hey, I'm
been
giving
using
my badge to
primaries
anybody want to watch me play,
to
man. This is
not get clarity
Now
for
here come the
5 years,
21 question
I
game.
don't think that the primaries is doing
All
y'all
I'm
no
saying
good.
is, if he was not the
y'all
one who
asking
said,
the question.
if he
I'm a
was not
21
the one who I quoted that from, who is?
He said a primary on symbolism said. Do you hear what he's saying?
what is it? What is the name of this book, Mel?
It's in
Man,
there.
are
It's
you looking at the back chat
No, I'm
of what
asking
Mel
you. I'm
posted?
asking you. What's the?
Symbol
Can't be
magic
I'm
and
asking you,
Egyptian art.
Mel. Come on,
Y'all
everybody,
been
talking
getting
at
the
once.
primaries wrong for
Every
10
one mic.
years. Why you
One
need a
mic.
primary?
Wait, say it.
One
Say it.
mic.
Hold on.
Bro,
Hold
why
on,
you keep
say it.
singling me out, bro? These people are putting forth the
Say it
shit. Deal with
because
them.
One
Deal with
mic.
them.
I
Mel,
feel like
what's
you
the
would be
name
fair.
of the book?
If
That's
I'm
all I
going
want
Just
to know.
crazy, I feel like you'd
symbolism
be
and
fair.
magic to Egyptian art.
Hold on,
He
one
is
second,
Let's
y'all, because
on
remember
the
it's a
table
chat
first.
watching this, Tuck. Hold on, Tuck.
Oh,
It's
my
a
bad,
chat
my bad, my
watching
bad.
this. So what is the name of this book?
It's
Mel?
symbolism. It's in the back. It's
Symbol
symbolism
and magic and
in
Egyptian art.
Egyptian art.
Come
Yeah.
on, y'all. Yo, when y'all both talk, I can't hear either one of y'all. So what
It's
does
the
it say
same
again?
thing.
I can't hear y'all when y'all both talking, bro.
I
Y'all
heard
don't
some
understand
static
what
Symbolism.
I'm
on
trying to say,
on
bro.
Mel thing, so I just said the whole title.
I
That's all.
figure it out. I figure
Symbolism
it out.
in
Y'all go ahead.
magic.
I figured it out. I figured it out. Y'all go ahead.
Okay, good.
So ain't that what you got on the screen?
The man is an anthropologist.
A primary on symbolism?
He's an anthropologist. He was there. Were you want him to take it off the wall and present it to you in this chat?
No. No, it's just that's
So how else
called
do we bring a
commentary though.
primary?
That's called commentary though.
It's not a commentary when he was there. He got first-hand account. What are you talking about? You don't
He
know what
was
a
not
primary
there
is?
when they wrote the damn shit down.
No,
What
but
are
he
you
was
talking
there.
about,
They
dude?
was. What the
What are
fuck?
you talking about?
You don't know what first-hand account is.
Nobody alive today is gonna be a what?
Dumb shit.
Anything you get is gonna be an interpretation,
Who
All right, for
first-hand
clarity.
account. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
Hold on.
that's
For
exactly
clarity.
what
So
I'm
we
Wait
ain't
a
saying.
even
minute, wait a
talking
minute,
about it.
wait a minute,
Exactly.
Brass. Wait a
man. You
minute,
can't
Brass.
just
Let's not,
say
For
let's
first-hand
not,
account.
clarity.
wait a minute,
Nigga be in
Brass.
there when he
With
wrote it down.
that logic, with that flawed logic, it's like saying the person, the first who witnessed the murder is not the primary. You want the body.
Okay.
What kind of
For
dumb shit is that?
clarity. Hold on. For
Yeah, that's
clarity.
what I
This
want.
is written by Richard H.
Dumb shit.
Wilkinson.
Yes.
This is written by
Yes.
Richard H. Wilkinson in 1994, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
This is not a primary source.
He's the one I got the quote from. I quoted
Listen
him.
to me. Just listen to what I'm saying.
Okay, where did the quote come from then?
Richard H. I'm not saying it didn't come from him. I'm just
That's
telling
what I'm
you.
talking about.
I
You
just
asked me where
know.
did I say come from, and I told you where it came from.
I'm not telling. I didn't say you didn't tell me where it came from. I'm saying I asked, is chapter 5 of Symbol in Magic and Art, Wilkinson Arthur, is that considered a primary source? No.
It's considered a primary source because the quote came directly from him.
Okay,
Can I say something for 10 seconds, yo? 10 quick seconds.
Is it considered
why?
Can Brad finish that? Because it came directly from him? Is that exactly what you mean?
Yes.
Okay. Is it considered a primary? Go ahead, Logic.
No. Answer your question. Ask your question.
Is it considered a primary source because the quotes came directly from him?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
1 second.
No.
Yes.
No, because he's not reading.
If I write a paper, hold on, Brass. Look, if I write a paper on this very subject, and I need a primary source, my primary source is going to be that book because that's what he said in that book.
Okay, now let me answer the question, Joey.
He's not reading the text.
Joseph, 1
on the
second,
text.
brother.
So it's not his opinion is not primary.
So I say 1 second, it means keep going. So no, Wilkinson's book is not a primary source, even if you quote him. Primary source equals produced in the time and culture that you're studying, ancient Egypt itself. An example would be a tomb inscription, a papyrus, the pyramid text. This would be considered.
Where did the quote come from, Brass? You're using ChatGPT incorrectly. Where did the quote come from?
Exactly what you just said, bro.
So it's not a primary source, bro. It's just not.
Where did the quote come from? If it didn't come from him, where did it come from?
Bro, he's not quoting.
I let the primary source.
You misunderstanding.
He is not quoting.
I quoted him. You wanted to know
first
what
it was a source. First they said bring a source. Now it's primary source. Y'all moving the goalposts. That shit crazy. Rewind this shit back. He said bring a source. Where's the source? Of started yelling with the source. Now it's primary.
We said a primary.
No, he didn't. Bro, I've been here the whole time. He said source, and then he switched to primary.
I said, "Wow, boy, boy, you're a wild man."
Meanwhile, y'all ain't brought forth shit. What are y'all bringing forth?
He put himself in that trick bag because he did say he had it.
GPT is a direct quote. Primary.
He did say he had the. He did say he had the primary. He put himself in that trick bag. But what I'm saying is, I'm saying that y'all playing a disingenuous game talking about the primaries because when the in the heat of battle, y'all will call an expert to confirm what y'all are saying. Like, and not only that, y'all will read the research of the experts to confirm what y'all are saying. So and then for 10 years,
TLA, not a primary.
So listen,
right? For 10 years, y'all have got it wrong.
Nothing y'all ever showed forth was a fucking primary.
Hold on.
Why are you not going to be on the experts now?
Hold on, I want to clarify something.
I couldn't get 10 seconds.
If I'm making a quote about something, if I'm making a quote from a particular source, I quoted that source. And then you ask me, where did the quote come from? The quote itself is not a primary source. So I have to go to where I actually quoted the source from. The source is Mr. Wilkinson. He actually says in his book, word for word, exactly what I quoted. That makes him the primary source because he's the original document that provides the first-hand evidence, not the quote itself that I made. So I went to the source, and you asked for a primary source on what I said, and you still won't take it because you don't know what the fuck a primary source is.
That's not qualification for a primary source, bro.
Primary sources.
They're trying to hunker it down to the original document, which is why they wanted to chisel the shit off the motherfucking wall and bring it to you on YouTube. It's fucking crazy.
Said did explain that a long time ago.
So what? If somebody's first-hand account,
that ain't what we said. But thanks for fucking up the conversation.
So y'all introduced primary sources, but I'm messing it up. What?
Hey, Brad, when Sadiq was trying to show you
of what he put in there and asked, is this specifically a primary source? Because every time I put this in ChatGPT, it keeps saying no.
But you're not giving it. You're not giving it.
Primary source is going to be like an artifact or the actual manuscript.
You're leaving out the context.
Hold on. He's showing primary sources, but he's not quoting the primary source. giving his interpretation of what he.
I don't even know what the hell that
It's like-
means, bro.
Yeah,
I know
Hey,
you
hey,
saying
no, no, no,
that.
You're losing it. You're losing it.
He's showing
I
the
know what
primary
he's
source.
saying.
Hey, Brad,
I
when
was the one that
Sadiq was
quoted
suggesting to you, when he was making suggestions on how to read Meta Nature, didn't he provide you with a source from an expert?
I don't
So
know.
why we
Sadiq
can't?
is an expert. I don't know.
I'm saying he showed you I can't think of the guy's name.
Yeah, it was Meta. It was yeah.
Right, but I'm
yeah,
saying
he went
so
to the-
so so why we can't just trust his dictionary then? We could
don't-
trust his translations to learn how to translate it, but we can't trust his dictionary. Something disingenuous about that.
Okay, so listen. All right, so I put the picture in ChatGPT of what you put in the back chat, and I also said if he's quoting the primary source, does it make this a primary source? I gave the context.
That's not the context. The proper way to put that in the chat GPT is if someone quotes Mr. Wilkerson and they're quoting from something he said in his book.
Hold on. I don't type that fast. I ain't a notary on my phone. If
Okay.
someone quotes the author of this,
correct.
Okay,
and then
the author
they're asked for the primary source. Would the author's words be the primary source?
Okay, so if someone quotes the author of this and gets asked for a primary source,
the author's words be the primary source.
Would the author's words be the primary source? Y'all go ahead.
No, just say what it says.
Yeah, I know.
Want to hear
Just
that?
give me a second.
Want to hear that?
Primary source. Would the author's words count as a primary source?
If I'm quoting the author, yeah, with his words primary.
No.
Why not? Explain.
It says this is a very important distinction. If you quote Wilkinson, the author of this book, his words are not a primary source. He's a modern Egyptologist, 1994, analyzing ancient evidence. That makes him a secondary source or even tertiary, depending on how you qualify. Depending on how you classify scholarship. If you quote the Book of the Dead excerpt, you quote the Book of the Dead excerpt at the top, that line comes directly from an ancient Egyptian funerary text.
Right.
That
I didn't
source.
quote them. So again, it's missing context. I didn't quote from the Book of the Dead. I quoted directly from Wilkerson.
I just put the picture up. So they're talking about what's in the picture. They have the picture and the question. So it says if someone asks you for a primary source.
So we gotta take it back. We gotta take it back. James P. Allen.
Let me finish what I'm saying, then we'll take it back. Let me finish what I'm saying, and then we'll take it back.
To provide clarity because you said it's taking too long and you're not following. So when I specified when IMEL said the specified religious and symbolic connotations of male versus female skin and the colors that they represent, along with the other four colors that I explained what they represent symbolically as well as religiously, that came directly out of Mr. Wilkerson's book. That's where I got it from.
I'm not saying that.
If you would have quoted the Book of the Dead, it would be primary.
If that's the case, then no translation would be considered a primary.
I don't know.
Get it from the Book of the Dead.
Let me finish the sentence, though. Let me just finish the sentence. So if someone asks you for the primary source, Wilkinson's commentary doesn't count. You'd need to point out the ancient text or artifact he is citing, in this case, the Book of the Dead. Wilkinson can still be cited as a secondary authority explaining how to interpret the primary evidence, but it would still be a secondary source.
He did not quote
ancient Egyptian text is the primary source. These all qualify as ancient Egyptian as primary sources.
Right.
Ancient Egyptian text, Book of the Dead.
Yes, the actual artifact.
Wall paintings.
Right. So if you want the actual artifact, I gave you the TLA where you could put in the actual manual decodage, or you can actually type it in based on the dictionary what the actual artifact says, and you're going to get the same thing. So I gave you that first.
I could see why y'all have these arguments, bro.
The primary source is convoluting the argument.
I'm very clear with my position.
Because the primary
Melvin, they want
sources
you
are
to dig up a
relevant.
dead mummy.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
This is an expert translation.
The
But
problem,
that ain't a problem. But that's not what they asked for, sir.
the problem with Melbrass is he
You
doesn't
don't know
No,
understand.
what
you're
to
right,
be able to
Ted.
bring
I'm
you
not
a
saying you're
fucking
wrong. You're right.
No,
But
document
that's
over
not what
there,
they asked
bro. That's a trick
for. Huh?
question.
No,
I'm
Mel
not saying
doesn't.
it's a trick question, a right question, but if you,
I
if
mean, you
hold on,
dissected it
Seth
though and
Breeze,
gave
if
them
it's a
credence
trick
though,
question,
bruh.
but if it's, I understand, but if it's a trick question, right? Say if they'd asked you for the primary source, as soon as you say yes, I can go get it, then you've
I
accepted
mean,
the
yeah,
trick
Mel
question.
can make that's not that he's not here to be an authority on the shit. But they asked for a
Yeah,
source and he went and got one. Then they said, is that a primary? And that's when we got to that.
Yeah,
it says
and
primary
Brass.
source is the content of the wall or
So it's like we
papyrus.
just played a whole game for nothing.
Which is why I gave the TLA, because don't none of y'all read ancient Egyptian off the dome like that.
The TLA is not a primary.
So said.
But it's
I didn't say
it's a
primary
secondary
first.
device.
No,
I
you
didn't say
said source
primary
at
first.
first.
I could have given him a
And then when Mel
dictionary and he
brought
would have
those
done the
three
same
sources,
thing.
y'all
Hey,
said, are
Steph,
these primaries?
we can agree to
This
disagree.
Mel,
We can agree to disagree, and I ain't gonna tell you that you crazy said. But from the beginning of the conversation, Tuck was saying primary. But that's what I heard.
For
And
nothing
it's
though.
Mel,
different
Saying
than
primary
you
for
said.
nothing. What
Yeah,
what's
he
the
said
point
he
of it?
But we're not
because
saying
he because he'd
something
rather
for anything.
because
We're
he'd
saying
rather
Hold
Reggie
on, Brad.
translation opposed to
Go
Budge.
ahead.
That's why
If
Listen,
you're not
Reggie
here
can't
to
to
say to
nobody
me, Brad,
read.
you're not here to hear the niggas
because
Can't
say
he
stuff
doesn't.
nobody
talking
read
out.
a primary. Hold
y'all
on.
just
Yeah,
talking
This
this
is
shit.
why this bullshit. This is why this bullshit. Because can't nobody, Tuck included, can't read a primary. You
So
need
I
an
gave the
expert.
TLA, which is why I gave
Need
the
an
TLA,
expert.
Chef. Chef,
Hold
that's why I gave the TLA.
Exactly. You need an expert to tell you.
And then I
what
gave James
that
P. Allen.
primary.
Like,
How
what
they
the fuck are we
like
doing?
Bro,
You
why
need
y'all
let him get it out. Let him get it out.
Yeah.
you need an expert to tell you what that primary is saying. So them niggas who can't read the glyphs
Hey,
asking you for a primary,
Chef, stop. I know it's no
that's the
primary
trick.
on. No. Yeah, because I know it's no primary on thought. You think this is this symbolism? There's no primary for that. He
I
made that shit up.
I didn't think that. I got it directly from Wilkerson.
You
Look, I
say
can give you the page number.
this means
I can give you
this
the page number.
symbolically.
I got it
There's no
directly from
primary for
Wilkerson's
that.
book.
That's why I asked for it.
What
I got it
I asked
directly
for it
from
because I know
Wilkerson's
it's not
book.
one.
I gave you the chapter.
What do you
There's no
mean by
there's
there's
no
no?
primary for saying no. You can make that up though, Chef. But there's no primary saying this means this
You
green
don't
means
understand
this,
your
this
primary.
black
I don't.
means this is gonna be all commentary, no matter
No,
who
it's
you
not.
get it from. There's no primary for that. It can't be one. That's why
So
I
give
asked
me a
for it.
so give me a
It
primary.
wasn't
They
trick.
can't.
But he said
So
he could
give
go
me
get it, and you
so
can't go get it.
Tuck. So then I'm going to reverse that on you. What? Give me a primary for something definitive coming from the Egyptians that you can say this means this, according to an Egyptian primary.
Yeah, but see, I wouldn't jump out the window, Chef. He jumped out the window.
So how? So how do you
I'm
know
about to rewind
that
it back
Kemet?
because I ain't
How
stupid.
do you know that Kemet means
You don't gotta
black?
rewind it back.
No. Do you agree that Kemet means
Oh,
black?
I do.
Yeah, he's definitely
I'm
gonna
talking
run
to
the
Tuck.
back.
Yes. How
Give
do
me
you
a
prove that?
primary
See,
on
this
that.
is the
Now give me a
21
primary
question
on that.
game. This is the 21 question game. See,
No.
no.
Since you
Soon as y'all
agree,
wrong, soon as y'all wrong is
no,
I know you
I
are,
just
but what am I? I know you
just
are,
jump
but
back
what am
in here.
I?
Listen,
That's what you're doing right now, Chef. You don't jump into they drowning, Chef. I know your fighting style. They was
Hold
drowning on that.
Right. So let's prove that. Let's figure something out.
Now watch this. Now watch this, Chef. Watch this. There ain't one. Watch how I do that. There ain't one.
All right. So why would you say Kemet means black then?
That's just the way I feel. See, I don't got no problem. I don't got no problem with that.
You're with this nigga.
Hey, quick statement though.
Why y'all arguing with him? He asked for primaries, and primary is not gonna prove nothing to him.
Hey,
Yeah,
real
that's
quick.
right.
Hey, Chef. Hey,
No,
hey,
no, no, no,
Chef.
no, 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 Chef.
Hold
No,
on,
Chef.
Tuck.
No,
Hold on,
Chef.
Tuck. Hold on, Tuck.
Okay.
Because Mel might be actually correct. Because I kept looking this up. Because I don't think Mel make crazy mistakes like this, right? So it says how non-specialists access primary sources. It says that translations count if they're faithful to the original. A modern scholarly translation of an ancient text is still considered a primary source because it's the actual ancient words just rendered in another language. Example, quoting the Book of the Dead from a translation by Faulkner or Allen is acceptable as a primary source reference. It says Egyptologists often publish collections of translated primary texts, Merriam-Lichten's Ancient Egyptian Literature, James P. Allen's translations of the Pyramid Text and the Book of the Dead, Faulkner's translation of the Coffin Text. So it says the way you cited the primary source, the spell, and shown your translation source. So so basically it's saying if you're quoting the Book of the Dead from a translation by Faulkner or Allen, it's acceptable as a primary source reference. I'll put the answer in the chat.
Hey. The problem is that wasn't in any one of those pages.
Okay.
That's the problem. I agree that would be a standard for using as a primary. However, it's just like when you're reading a piece of paper and you're about to quote somebody, you put the quotation marks around it, saying that this is direct. That means that you're getting it directly from whoever.
That's why I brought up Wilkinson.
No, but it does say Wilkinson's not. It says Wilkinson's commentary.
No,
but now
but
here's
see,
the difference.
It's saying Wilkinson.
Hold on. Don't be quiet when you
it's
agree.
incorrect
And then
because
start
it's saying
talking when you
Wilkinson got it
disagree.
from the
Hold
Book of the
on.
Dead.
Mel, I know you
didn't.
fired up. Mel, I know you
No,
fired up.
I'm being accurate.
I know, but you just hold on. But it says what you did is what you should avoid. When you're quoting a modern scholar's explanation like Wilkinson's commentary, it's secondary evidence, not primary. So I gave you if Wilkinson includes a direct excerpt from a primary text and you can trace it back to the original, then you've got a primary. So just do that and that will be considered a primary. So just do that. Go include a direct excerpt from a primary text and then trace it back to the original and you've got a primary. That's what I was trying to tell you. Just do that. You got all this stuff. Do that. And that will be considered a primary.
And we'd all agree.
Yeah. Just do that. I'm trying to like I'm helping you because I know you got all this shit in front of you. So just do that. And that way that'll just kill the argument. Because I disagree that we can't find a primary. Y'all niggas brilliant. Y'all can find this shit.
It won't kill the argument though, Brad. Because they don't care whether it's a primary or not.
Who
has he ever brought a primary of anything he said?
You don't care.
Has he brought
you don't care? I
kind of sharp. Get in the Discord, Kimway.
Has he brought one source yet?
Who? Sadiq?
Tuck.
No.
Exactly.
Not that I know of.
All y'all doing is running around the mulberry bush. But it's ridiculous.
Somebody must got Chef on the Chef got somebody on the payroll because they drop a bomb. This nigga can say the.
We got everything. Listen, we got all of the scholars, Brass, right? We got all of the sources. None of it is saying what they are saying. So at some
none of it saying what he's saying. None of it saying what he's saying. That's what we waiting on. We waiting on it to say what he's saying. That's what we waiting on. Can we get that? Can we get that?
Get what?
We talking about all of this other shit. We talking about all this other stuff. Can we get what we asked for?
What did y'all ask for? I just came in there.
Tuck been waiting for over an hour to show that the Egyptians, when they paint their color yellow, this means some symbolic stuff for religion of this. When they painted themselves green, this is some symbolic symbolism for this. When they paint themselves black, this is symbolic symbolism for that. When they paint themselves red, it's a symbolic symbolism of that. we are asking him, and Tuckmine has been asking before I even asked, where is a primary to say what you're saying?
So if somebody paints them green, or they have depictions of them being green, y'all saying that y'all need a primary to know that that's symbolic?
Yep.
We're
That's what they're
asking.
saying.
You think people actually come out green?
They painted deities green. A deity.
Right. So then that would be what?
A
That would be
deity.
symbolic, right?
That's not a human being. We're saying to
I answer the question. Chef asked a very important question.
Go ahead.
Ask the question again, Chef.
Somebody paints somebody green. Would that be symbolic?
I can
symbolic
hold
of
on,
what?
hold on.
Symbolic of what?
I gotta say,
Yeah.
wait.
Nope, he
I
said
think
it
we
right.
wasting time.
I don't know.
I think we wasting time. Hold on.
If y'all ever
Hold
seen
on.
green
There are
human beings,
no Sadiq. Sadiq, hold on.
Yes,
I think we're wasting time. So it says there are primary sources, ancient texts and paintings that use color symbolically, but there is no primary source where Egyptians themselves wrote down a systematic explanation of the color symbolism. That's why we rely on modern Egyptologists' secondary sources to piece it together from context. There are no primary sources where it says black. Hold on. There is none where it says black equals life, red equals chaos, green equals rebirth. That's a scholarly reconstruction, which would make it a secondary. There are no primary sources that do that. So we can stop.
What do we have scholars for?
I don't know.
No, I'm saying when you read something, right, we have to be able to use our own brain.
Yeah,
like
I understand that, Chef. Then why
we
did
have
he
to be able to work
he
through
took the challenge, Chef?
Right, but what you read doesn't. It's not a mic drop.
I didn't push that shit on. I barely know how to use it. I'm saying,
man, I just rewinded, but
he didn't. He didn't.
Yo,
Real quick,
wow.
he didn't. He didn't. When the funny thing is, when Mel took the question from Tuck, I gotta believe. Shouts to you, Tuck. He had to have known there was no primary source that did it because that it clearly says there isn't one. Everything
we do know that.
trying to describe them colors would have to come from a guy that's piecing it to a secondary guy.
And listen, I just rewinded back the last 15, 20 minutes, bro. The first issue was it a translation or a commentary? And Mel was like, you're right. The first portion of it is just a translation, and the next part of it's just commentary. They agreed on that point. It wasn't until 20 minutes later y'all said something else. Primary.
That was something else.
This is damn near
it's the same source.
No, that was something else, bro.
Man, he still put a nice PR in that same clip.
You want to know how I know it ain't one? Because somebody asked me for one, and it ain't one.
And that's why when I said to you, Tuck, and you actually, I said you admitted it, you was like, I ain't fighting fair. That's why I was laughing.
That's right. I told you I wasn't fighting fair. He said he should have never said he could get it.
I know. Y'all was trying to hammer Mel down on that point right there. And I understand that. Yeah,
and we
okay.
all
But
knew
then
that.
we playing games if we all knew that and y'all let them do it.
Because he spoke and made the claim. He made that claim.
We playing major games.
Y'all know what y'all do if y'all
we sitting up there acting like
that point home. That's crazy.
Yeah, but
y'all don't prefer Reggie's commentator.
Like we don't have to be 100% exact in here for us. If we start doing that, then we all fucked up.
So Sosa says, can I read Sosa chat real quick? It says that's why expertise is useful, but Brass has to step back and let them break it down. I don't know when I'm being tricked. You're 100% right. But I'm gonna say this: if one of you motherfuckers want to mod this shit, and I'll leave the whole fucking conversation. That's fine, but I'm not doing this as I'm doing this as charity at this point. But if there's no point in looking for some shit and arguing back, I'm trying to move the shit forward. Y'all arguing some shit that don't exist. This is this, and this is that, and this is this. If the shit don't exist, let's say that so we can talk about something else. There is no primary source.
I mean, I thought we was
that
moving
delineates
along.
the color.
Well, wait a second. Wait a
When we were
second.
just discussing
Wait a second, yo.
I thought you were fair, Brass.
So we gotta acknowledge what Chef said and draw that conclusion all the way out, because there's going to be a lot of things in ancient Egypt that you're going to have to draw connections to, where you know what I'm saying, where the primary sources or the papyrus is going to be broken or what have you, right? So you're going to need a cultural understanding to try to put all of this stuff together. That's why you have to lean on the experts, right? So in some capacity, you're going to have to include their commentary, right? So you can't make this crazy argument about, just because it's commentary is not useful. No, that commentary is grounded in training, right? That they use to actually put the story together. So to be honest, like we can't just be honest and say y'all prefer Reggie's commentary over the expert's commentary, because that's really all it is. At the end of the day, like that's where it starts to become disingenuous. You're going to need the commentary. It's a necessary part of the process.
Facts. Now that's the mic drop.
I appreciate if you wouldn't put no jacket
on my man for that.
Logic don't.
I appreciate if you wouldn't put no jacket on me. Hey, don't put no jacket on me I don't deserve. That's what I'm saying. Don't put no. I'm not relying on Reggie.
No.
I'm not relying on no Reggie.
I'm actually.
Don't do that.
Let me try to.
You and I done had wars before, and we done fought it out. And I done went contact.
So let me explain myself. Let me explain myself.
Don't put that jacket on me.
Right. So if I'm not mistaken, you're not like the expert Medu Neter reader, right? So if I give you a primary, right, you're going to go discuss it with the other people, right? And y'all going to try to do the same thing that we asking the experts to do. So that's it. I mean, the line is just there. Do I prefer to hear y'all's commentary, or do I prefer to hear the experts' commentary? It's plain and simple.
Well, I went to Dr. Richetti Amon's school to learn better than that. I didn't know that. I didn't get it from YouTube like y'all doing. I'm just saying.
I didn't know that. That's what's up.
Now he want to throw a shot right back. He want to throw a shot right back, boy.
Right there.
So why are you wrong then?
Go ahead.
You went to Richetti Amon's school, and did she teach you that Kemet means black people?
Have you talked to Dr. Richetti?
No, I just.
He asking you.
Have you talked to her?
I just asked you a question.
I'm asking you a question too. I want to know. So
no, I didn't.
Okay, so I know what you know about her.
Get him.
So I
want to know what you know about her. I want to know what you know about her.
I know absolutely nothing about her.
Okay, then. So why would it matter what she said? Because I know what she said, and believe me, she translates it to exactly what I said.
Okay, I'm about to answer your third question. What was the third question?
I don't remember.
Hey, she used to be on Facebook. We used to reach out to her on Facebook.
Nah, Tuck, where you at with the 21 questions, Tuck?
Hold on, Sadiq.
Sadiq, killing shit.
Did she teach you that Kemet means black people?
She taught me how to read it, and this is how she translated.
Did she translate it as black people?
When you have the people determinative, yes.
All right, yeah, but she don't know what she's talking about.
Okay, but she went to the University of Chicago. She went to University of Chicago, bro. She went to University of Chicago.
That's what they taught her at the University of Chicago. They taught her it meant black people.
That's cool. All I can tell you is she went to University of Chicago.
That lady ain't deserve what you just did to her.
Yeah, that lady know what she's doing, and I know you just talking. 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 You learned this from YouTube.
You just
because I know it.
And somehow we all at the same level.
Crazy.
That's what you said until you put out that picture. Said Breeze and saying where am I at, and I gave it to
We
you.
got to get Kimway in this
Where
motherfucking
you
Discord.
what?
That's what we got to do. This
Picture of
Kimway
who?
dude is cooking.
When you put out
Somebody
that
send
picture, when you
Kimway the
put out
link
that
to the Discord. He cooking like a
Picture of
motherfucker.
what?
when you put out that picture of where you was at in the Vatican, who translated that and told you what that was and where you at?
The PhD fucking guy that I hired to do that shit. What you talking about? I put that as a
Did you
joke.
tell
Can you
me?
go read it?
Did you tell? But did you
It was
tell
clearly
me,
a
or
joke,
did I pick it
bro.
up?
Oh my god, go
What
read my comment again, bro. Go read it again.
you asked me, you said if y'all read Meta Nature, what does this say?
I ain't got no problem with you, bro. That picture
Okay,
went
then.
towards
So
you,
I'm
fam.
just, you didn't. It wasn't, but you put it out there like we was bullshitting, and that was part of a conversation
No,
we
that's
had
not
that
what
day.
bro. Come on, bro. You don't think I asked the nigga when I'm standing next to some shit what it is? Nick? Serious? Come on, bro. You right, Sadiq. You translated it for me. I appreciate that. I don't want to get into it with you about this, bro. I appreciate it.
The problem is you had already said that. I'm not saying you didn't get it translated because we had a little discussion right after you said, yeah, that's what your translator told you. But
Yeah.
I'm saying you put it.
And it's also written on the thing right next to it.
You put it in the disc. You put it in the disc. You put it in the Discord to say if we know how to do it, then why
Yeah,
we should
as
be
a
able to
joke,
do this.
we had a conversation about that day. I was being facetious,
Well, my bad.
man.
My
Relax.
bad. My bad.
By
It
the
was a
way,
joke. My bad. It was a joke. My bad. It was a joke. I took you up on your joke.
I don't disbelieve that you can't read it. I never once said that.
I just
Yeah,
took you up on
Winterman said that primary source doesn't exist either, if he's worth anything.
Hey, Braz, can you pull up? You got the pyramid text?
I can't read that shit.
Braz, can you pull up?
Look, are you asking me to read the pyramid?
You said you want a primary, right?
I know. They said they want a primary. I'm just trying to help y'all facilitate the conversation. So what's the primary?
Pyramid text spell 5, 6, 7. You can also get it from Faulkner's
That
book.
would fall under Sadiq, or you can copy it and put it in there.
No. You can pull it up because there's English translations of it. That's cool.
It's an English translation of primary.
Yeah, there's English translations of it. Yeah.
Okay, so what am I pulling up? What am I pulling up?
Pyramid text utterance 5, 6, 7.
Pyramid text utterance. I've always loved that word.
I just want to say this, Brass. You never thought that you would be. You never thought you would be pulling this the pyramid text up. You never thought this would be happening.
Utterance 5, 6, 7. No, I didn't think so. But you know what this does for me today? We ain't got to talk about no elders at all today. Sorry, this is actually cool. I actually like this.
Oh man, handle your business. Go and get into it, man.
Yeah.
Say Black Eater is the great reset.
It's a great reset. Yeah.
Put us back.
Yeah. What do y'all niggas say we got to talk about?
Somebody was
Dr.
gonna
Sebi?
fight.
I'd rather
Well, I
talk
heard that nigga about
this
to
shit
cry.
than
Bit. Oh, we live. My bad. Shit.
Nah, bro. Hey, we done already tore it up. So what do you want me to get out of this? Mel? These are primary sources. It says they show Egyptians using objects and symbols that carried color associations, even if they never wrote a color code chart. That's the summary of these in 5, 6, and 7.
No. Not 5, 6, and 7. 567.
Oh. Okay. And now, real quick question. What are you trying to prove by this?
Until you read it.
Hold on. I'm not a Hebrew Israelite. I'm not about to be reading all this shit. What is it that I'll read some of it?
It's not
what
long.
do you need? What's
It's
the
not
point
long.
of what?
Read.
Okay.
It's not long. Just read it.
Okay. 1 second, brother. 1 second.
Just got 3 lines.
No disrespect to the Hebrew Israelite. Well, I already did it too. Okay. 1 second. Give me 1 second. That ChatGPT 5 move a little faster than everybody else.
And it's called the miscellaneous utterances on the hereafter, which is the afterlife.
Sound like you found some good shit. I'm excited.
Yeah, I want to see
a
male debate somebody. You ever debated anybody, Mel?
Yeah, I've done a
Oh
debate.
no. Yeah.
Like killed their ass.
Yeah.
You got
Yep.
too much information.
Like, who channel
All right,
is it on? Like that I
translation.
can
So
go
what do you
look.
want me
I
to
do
read?
it on
Just
Super
read the
Wavy
whole
channel.
thing.
Okay, this
So
recent.
what do you want? What do you want me to
He
do?
said just read it all. He said it's pretty short.
Okay, so the location is the Pyramid of Unis, Old Kingdom, circa 2350 BCE. The genre is offering ritual text. The focus is provisioning the deceased king with food and drink, often tied to cosmic imagery. The translation from James P. Allen, the ancient text is this Una comes, this Una comes. Do I say pause for ancient text? No, fuck it. This Una comes, this Una comes. He comes a spirit, fire effective. I don't know, it's a question. Adorned as a god, lord of the horizon, the sky rains, the stars darken, the bows are agitated, the bones of the earth gods tremble, the two horizons shake.
Are you reading 567?
Yes. Utterance, pyramid text, utterance 567.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not it. What is your
Is it Allen 2005? PT
you're reading
567?
from James Allen's book. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, I just put in, all I put
Right.
in was pyramid text, utterance 567. I just did that. And it just gave it to me by a pyramid. It just gave me the actual utterance.
No, y'all could have shut up. Y'all could have shut us up a long time ago.
Right.
Y'all could have
So
been kicked.
when they
But that's
see
not the
when they
game.
see when they see Unis rise as a god, as a ruler who lives on his
No.
fathers and who so this
You
ain't
shouldn't
this is the wrong utterance then.
No, it's the wrong spell. It's
Because
the
it says
wrong
the
spell.
text, it says the text doesn't
You know what he's
spell
looking
out
for,
red,
Brad?
black, and green, but it uses imagery Egyptians tied to color. Horizon tied to the red yellow glow of the rising sun.
Yep.
Darkening stars, symbolic of the transition to the underworld blackness. Rain, sky shaking, linked to the cosmic forces, blue, green of sky and water. So utterance 567 doesn't give a color key, but it uses cosmic events Egyptians always depicted in color in their art. So the answer to your deeper question is there is no color dictionary in the pyramid texts.
No.
The utterances, but utterances like 567 are primary sources that modern scholars like Wilkinson use to reconstruct how colors symbolized cosmic order, chaos, and rebirth.
Okay, do this one real quick. It's not that long either. Utterance.
Starting to feel like an Israelite.
It's not.
Go
It's
ahead.
not. Utterance
Right.
is 350.
You throw enough shit against the wall.
You're the most neutral, Brass.
I'm
can I jump in?
the most dumb in this shit
Brad,
too.
can I jump in here?
Utterance, what?
Can I jump
Let
in
him
here,
get
Brad?
his utterance off and then say what you say while I'm typing it.
It's
Let him
the
get
last
his
one.
utterance. I can start
I'm
saying.
trying to help him. He's doing a poor job, Brad.
Why? Why would
Doesn't
you
know-
help Mel?
No. No. You want me to tell you why? I can tell you. I can tell you what text he wants to quote.
Well, tell me how poor
tell
of a job I did after he do this last utterance so we can get it out of the way.
Can I just get let me get the utterance first, Joseph, and then y'all talk. Go ahead. What's the utterance?
350.
350. Y'all go ahead and talk for a second. I can use the bathroom. Go ahead.
The text that he wants to quote is, "Here stands this Una, two horns upon his head, like two wild bulls. He's a black ram, one of the black sheep, one of the black bulls, nursed by four clear sheep." Because in that text,
Yeah, how you gonna tell that man what he want to use?
Nope.
Well, that's what he should be using. That's what he should be using.
No, I'm not using
That's what he
that.
uses. And let me tell you why. Because in that text, we have
Wow,
Kemet
Joey.
and Kemet. And both of them are translated as black. He's a troll
No,
dancing
I wouldn't
around
use
the
that.
fucking forest.
I wouldn't use that.
He's a troll.
I'm not a troll.
Dancing around.
I'm not a troll.
He's
But
a
we'll
troll
see
dancing
what
around.
utterance 350 says.
He could have quoted that. He could have quoted that an hour ago instead of running around fucking Mulberry.
No, Joey. Mel,
quoting the wrong text.
serious. We might disagree on this subject, but Mel got an archive full of books. I've made
He's an
share-
archivist for real.
I'm not going to go that far with.
Okay,
I don't know.
why did he
I'm
quote
just telling you. I'm just showing the respect. I'm just showing the respect that I have.
Okay.
He was part of Team
Okay,
Osiris.
Okay,
He was part of Team Osiris. I'm just.
Okay,
Y'all don't argue in public. It makes y'all look crazy. Don't argue in public.
Let me
Not y'all.
apologize for the.
He's been arguing. He's been calling me a troll from the
No,
beginning.
Mel, I'm not
Well,
talking
let
about
me
you. I'm talking about him,
apologize. Hold
Mr.
on.
D.
Oh, okay.
Well, let me So let me apologize for calling you a troll, but I think if you had quoted that text ages ago,
you can't
could have
even
actually
you
looked
can't
at
help
the
yourself.
text.
I love Joey. He can't help it.
So,
He said, "Let me
am I
apologize,
misquoting
but I do
Am
think
I
your ass
misquoting the
being a
text, though?
troll. But I
Exactly.
apologize for saying
Am I
it. I
misquoting the text?
apologize
Why
for
did you
saying
even
it.
apologize
Am
if
I
you didn't want to keep? You didn't want to
Listen,
apologize.
Bro,
ask Sadiq,
it
hold on.
don't look good
Ask
when
Sadiq, am I
y'all
misquoting
argue in
the text?
public. Keep that shit private. Y'all both archers. Stand on y'all boat.
Nah, it
So
ain't no argument. It ain't no argument. I'm just telling the man like
And I
who this
apologize.
man is.
No, and I
That's it.
apologize.
I ain't gonna say he a troll because I know he does.
And
I know he puts in that work. I know he puts in that work.
Sadiq, and I
Okay, well,
apologize.
no,
but
I'm
I
just,
he
said,
can't, bro.
I'm
making it clear. I'm
I
making it
apologize.
clear. Joey, pause.
I apologize.
Pause.
I apologize.
Okay,
Pause.
we got
Not even talking
you,
to you.
Joey. We got you, Joey.
I'm trying to make
He's
it
talking
clear
to
so you
everybody else.
understand.
I
Yeah.
apologize.
I'm cool with that, but I'm saying if he had quoted that text, we could have
See, but I'm
avoided.
saying you always got to give
That's
your
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Are you catching this? Saying I apologize.
And somebody tell me I'm misquoting the text though. Somebody tell me I'm misquoting the text and I'm wrong. If you tell me that,
I know. I've had it. I've had it this whole time while you was apologizing 17 times. So listen, the utterance 350. Look, keep going. Go ahead, Joey. We wait for you.
No, sorry. Go ahead. I apologize.
That's 18. So listen, utterance 350. Location, Pyramid of Unis and others, Old Kingdom, 2350 BCE. Theme, transformation and ascent of the king. It's part of a sequence where the deceased king is identified with divine beings, especially the gods of the sky. Translation, Faulkner. Raise yourself, O Unis, receive your head, collect your bones, gather your limbs, shake the earth from your flesh. Take your bread, which rots not, your beer, which sours not. Stand at the sky's door, cloth, with the eye of Horus on your brow. With the Uraeus on your forehead, the gods are in awe of you, O Unis. You are indeed among them. So it says symbolism, color hints. Eye of Horus, almost always a colored green, blue in Egyptian art.
Emerald, yep.
Brad,
Red, which
turquoise.
Hold on, let me finish reading.
And I just want to. No. I want to ask you a question. I want to make sure you. I want to make sure you separate from what's actually written and what's commentary. Now, is this part that you're saying is that commentary?
The translation is written. What I'm reading now is commentary.
Got it. That's what I was going to say.
Okay. Eye of Horus is almost always colored green, blue in Egyptian art. That's a symbol of restoration and healing. Bread, which rots not, beer, which sours not, purity, eternal sustenance, often tied to white bread, golden beer, and tomb scenes. Shake the earth from your flesh. Rising cleansed from decay, linked to rebirth, green, black soil imagery, Uraeus on the forehead. The cobra, often depicted in gold or red, symbol of fiery protection. So it says utterance 350 is a primary source showing how Egyptians imagined resurrection. The king's body is reassembled, purified, and identified with divine symbols, Eye of Horus, Uraeus. Color isn't named outright, but the symbols themselves carried well-established color associations in Egyptian art and ritual.
Correct.
So does that answer, is that a primary source that answers Tuck and Sadiq's question, or did you just want me to read something?
The pyramid text is a primary source.
I know, but doesn't answer their question though.
No, I think it was a primary
because I
that
know it ain't
showed.
nothing but bullshit.
Y'all are ignorant. Go ahead. Don't stop talking when they click that soundboard because everybody.
Because you hear it, you think somebody talking.
No, go ahead. Just keep going.
What he did was he offered a text from the pyramid text, which is cool. However, it didn't explain what he explained. It was the commentary that came in and fulfilled that portion. That's what we looking at. That's why I asked you, Brass. I wanted you to say what is a quote and what is commentary, because now we can separate when we hear what's being said directly from the text and what is being said by the scholar who is using his commentary to tell you what this means. That's all I wanted to say. That's why I wanted to break.
But the scholar doesn't have to tell you the colors of the various different things unless you pay attention to those things within the culture. So
Hey
they're
Mel,
just
and does this make
elaborate.
sense though? Does this make sense? It says the primary sources do show Egyptians using colors symbolically, but Egyptians never left a manual or a dictionary spelling out the meanings. What we
No.
have today only is modern Egyptologists piecing together a dictionary from patterns in those primary texts and artworks. So utterance 350 or 567, while being primary examples of color symbolism in action, they would not equal a color. They don't equal a color dictionary though.
Yeah, I was never saying that there was a dictionary based on color with ancient Egyptians. I was just showing the symbology and the religious aspect.
And the other thing too, Brass, I said very early, I said what we have is a big puzzle, and we're all trying to piece this thing together. That's what.